What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday edition of Know the Ledge. Hopefully y'all are doing good. I'm doing okay. I can't complain. I got you know what I mean, the morning cup of Joe or Joanne. To be fair, there we go. Uh, I'm still on this iced coffee wave, man. Don't get me wrong. I like when the weather starts to cool a little bit. We get into them fall temps, but I don't know. Still rocking with the iced coffee, so it is what it is. Hopefully, y'all are doing okay. Um, it's a beautiful day when we can all wake up and enjoy life. So I'm glad to be here another day, rocking with all of y'all. Um, whew, let's see, man. What to talk about? What to talk about? There's stuff we're gonna get into, but there's some matter of fact stuff that I need to put out there and touch on, man. There's some things that is just like it's a matter of fact. Like, you look at it and like, yeah, that's what's going on right now. Um, First off, salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all. I see the early risers. Y'all are here. I appreciate y'all as always. Walter Blackman Jr., thank you. Appreciate you. I hope everything's treating you well. I hope the new house is working out the way you planned. Um, and wishing you the best, man. Brooklyn Butch, what's going on? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knick fans in the building. What's going on, Geraldine? Um, Kareem Grant, what up, twin? What's good, man? Hope you're doing all right, brother. Good to see you as always. Boogie Down BX in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Um, sometimes I see some of these names and they look familiar, and I could be right, I could be wrong. Boogie Down, your name looks familiar, so I'm assuming I've seen you here before. But if I have not, and this is your first time, thank you for being in the chat. Obviously, you subscribe, so I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us. But I don't know if I've seen you in the chat. Maybe you have been in the chat. If you have, then thanks for being here once again. If not, then welcome. CAA Mafia in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you. Salute. Thank you for being here. So, hey, what's going on, Jermaine Royster? Salute, salute. Appreciate you. JJ in the building. JJ. It's a tough time, JJ. Yeah. You know what? And that brings me to what I was going to say, actually. So, here's a couple of matter of facts. Well, let me say Kibbit 1. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Killer Cam's in the building. What up, Killer? Finesseful J is here. What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you, man. So here's a couple things that I can't escape, right? This is what's going on in my life. Excuse me. One, my Madden franchise with my friends I'm terrible right now. It took me quite some time to get my handle on how to play defense. The scoring took a little while to get because I'm a guy who likes to pass, but I kept throwing interceptions because I'm a little too wild with the ball. You know what? So guess what? I basically had to chalk it up. I just have to deal with it. I understand I'm not making the playoffs. It's okay. Right now I'm scheduled to have I think we're in week 16. I'm scheduled to have the second pick in the draft. And it's just what it is. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So unfortunately, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, I'm one of the real ones, man. I've always been there for you. But yeah, with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Giants and still Knicks fans will be selecting a quarterback. Sorry, Danny Dimes. It's time for me to move on. Appreciate you. I love you. But gotta go. I mean, in real life, I hope he has a great season, and it turns out to be fantastic for him, and the Giants benefit. I don't know if it's going to be enough for them to keep him, but in the game, I got to move on. That's it. Sorry. Yeah. So that's one of my realizations. Another realization is NBA 2K23. It's hard as hell to shoot in that game. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I just got to keep, I'm going to work at it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm one of those guys, I like to shoot the rock. Like, I'm not one of those dudes that I need to dunk on you all the time and take it to the hole. I will do it, but I'm not one of those guys that I need to shoot 23s. And so you can see how I'm splashing from the outside. Nope, it's not me. I'm a mid-range dude. I like to be able to cross you off the dribble, make you think I'm going to the hole and just stop and pop. Boom. I'm on my Glenn Rice, my Mello Anthony. I'm Peja Stojakovic. I'm that type of dude. Dwayne Wade. I'm a mid-range assassin. And it's hard to shoot. But that's okay. In time, I'm sure it'll get better and I'll learn. But the one thing I like about the game, I'm just throwing this out there, is that the dribblers of the world, they have a harder time getting their dribble game going. Like, they can still cross you over and get to the basket and do what they got to do, but you can't be out there trying to finesse and style all through the game. Now you get tired. Now if you could dribble yourself out of that comfort level where you could do whatever you want. Now you could dribble yourself tired, and then when you try to shoot the shot, you can miss. I like that. Finally, they did something right in 2K. Because, I'm hating because I'm not one of those dudes that got the crazy handles. I can cross you over, but there's dudes, you guys seen the game. There's guys who can do, and girls, ladies. I see some ladies with some handles that can do all types of phenomenal stuff. And I can't do it. So it is what it is. Anyway, so that's that. And then another realization that I have come to, but this is not overnight. I've been like this for the last 3 seasons. I do not watch the New York Mets in September. JJ, I know. That's my advice to you, brother. I do not watch the New York Mets in September. I just don't care. I don't care how the Mets could be undefeated going into September. I am not watching the Mets in September. It's just a waste of my time. I'm not doing it. It's a struggle for me for whatever reason. I think it's the curse of the Bambino, all these crazy curses that have happened with teams, the Chicago Cubs curse, all that. The Mets curse, somebody cursed us for September. So I'm not watching in September. I'll watch the highlights. I'm not watching a game in September. I won't do it. Unless somebody gives me tickets or I happen to go to a game, then I'll have to break my rule for that. But I'm not doing it. All right. Anyway, I'm done. Those are my realizations, guys. That's what I woke up to this morning. I said, man, this is it. This is what it is. Anyway, hope y'all doing all right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Shaw Powers in the building. Salute. My hat twin. Well, somewhat hat twin. We got some similar hats, not all of them. Shaw's got me right now, though. Shaw's got me. I think your hat game must be crazy. I actually had to slow down a little bit. I'm gonna pick it back up soon, though. Your hat game is phenomenal. Salute to Angel Torres. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. El Servi in the building. What's going on, El Servi? Mets play in September. I thought their season was over. Ouch. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Okay. Nice. You got it. So I know you guys had to get some new material. It's okay. It's fine because it used to always be the champs of April. Then you guys started saying, "Whoa, Mets are still winning in May. Can't use that one. Whoa, they're still winning in June, July. Oh no, August." You guys were like, "I can't wait till September gets here." We here. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Salute to Lou Memorabilia. Appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna come back to that, Lou. Appreciate you. Yeah. Salute Eddie Marr. I know 2K23 got Evan Fournier in the starting 5. Shake my head. Come on, Tibbs. We need Grimes at the 2, Cam at the 3. Yeah, it's true. And when I play my games, like when I play with my friends or online or whatever, I always put Grimes in the starting lineup. But guess what? I can't shoot with him either. I just can't shoot right now. I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna get it. Cash Out James was good. Salute. Infamous new king in the building. What's going on? Salute, salute. Appreciate you. Ah, man, this is so annoying. And in the corner of my screen, I can see the freaking signal going up and down, man. You guys don't understand the frustration. I know I've said it multiple times, but it kills me. I don't understand. I don't understand how improving my signal doesn't make it better. I don't understand how changing my equipment to better equipment doesn't make it better. Someone tell me how it works. Can't. Hey, La Tres Musqueritos. Appreciate you. The trifecta, 1/3 of the trifecta in the building. If you know, you know. Salute to my guy Jose, holding it down on the ones and twos, but not today. What up, buddy? Oh boy. Let's see here. I think I got everybody. All right, guys. So we got a couple things that I want to talk about today. One of them is Quentin Grimes. It's time for him to step up. I think we all know that. It just is what it is. And I want to talk a little bit about him because you know what? I think it's time for him to step up, but I think some of these expectations and everything that's going on with him is not fair to him. Because we've had other guys in this team that haven't had the same level of expectations, or if they were supposed to have that level, have had many years to kind of get there. We've given guys like Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett many years, and the pressure hasn't been the same. And now Quentin Grimes is kind of thrust into the situation in year 2 when he didn't even really get a chance to play that much in year 1. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, let's do this. Let's hit the intro. We'll come back and then we'll start chopping up and getting into everything because yeah, man, I think we got some good things to talk about. All right, be right back. Yes, there we go. We are back. Hey, there my guy. Big task at hand in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're doing all right, man. Good to see you. All right, so like I said, there's a couple things I want to get into. One being, Quentin Grimes, and it's being time for him to step up. But I also want to talk about, the expectations that we have as Knicks fans with regards to him. I also want to talk about, Clyde Frazier getting inducted to the Hall of Fame once again. Heavily accomplished man, heavily accomplished. I also want to talk about the impact players that need to step up in general, like the guys who, if for the Knicks to have a successful season, that doesn't mean winning a championship. That doesn't even mean making the playoffs. You can still be successful and not make the playoffs. In a lot of Knicks fans' eyes, it won't look that way. I understand. But if the Knicks have a winning season, if the Knicks look like they've built an identity, if the Knicks look like they have a culture, then that is a winning season. I mean, yeah, that's a successful season, should I say. So there's certain things you gotta look at it for what it is. This year is going to be a rough one, no matter how you slice it. It just is, because of you know, where we are, not bringing in Donovan Mitchell. I'm not saying that had to happen, but, you know, you build up expectations for fans. And so they look at the team a certain way. So no matter what happens, they're like, oh, well, they didn't get Donovan Mitchell. It's not what it's about. It's about trying to improve the team. If you don't get the player you coveted, then it is what it is. You just move on to the next player, or you build with what you got and make the best of what you have on that roster. But, you know, some fans look at that. It's like, in life, something good could happen for you, but something negative could happen for the next month, right? That good thing that happened to you, it's harder for you to focus on what that was and how that made you feel and how that impacted your life. What you're going to focus on is what's currently going on and the negative that's happening for the last month, all the bad stuff. That's how people are. That's how humans are built. It's not many people who can only look at the positive and everything and find that and use that to guide them through life. People do focus on the negative. It's how we're built. So that's going to be a little bit of a hurdle that they have to climb, right? There was also I'm sure most people, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, maybe you've already seen there was a leaked picture of a new Knicks City Edition jersey. Whether or not that's going to be the truth or not, or that's it, we don't know. But I'll show you guys that for those who may not have seen it. Yeah, and then pretty much we'll go from there. You know, whatever else gets talked about during the time, you know, we'll hit on it. But that's pretty much what I'm kind of looking at and thinking about at the moment. Like, we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. Training camp is not far away. Then we'll get the Knicks preseason. And then I'm really excited for opening night at the Garden. I will be in the building with the Nothing But Knicks crew. So that should be a fun time. We had a really fun time last year. I expect it to be another fun one this year. I don't know how many tickets are left, guys. So if you guys are interested, go to the Nothing But Knicks site, NBK, or you can go to the YouTube, obviously, and click on Nothing But Knicks, and then click on the main page. You should be able to find the link. And let me see if I can put it in the chat in a minute. And if there's any tickets left, you might be able to jump in if you guys are going to be in the metropolitan area, or if you live in the area and you still want to go. I think the tickets are like 160 or 170. It's one of those, but it's opening night. And so, you know how it is. And the Garden is expensive. So if you guys think that's expensive, just understand it would have been worse. Anyway, yeah, so if that's something that interests you guys, I don't know how many tickets are left. If you are interested, by the way, I think Sim said it like 4 days ago, maybe, it was 9 tickets left. I doubt there's 9 tickets left now, but hey, listen, you could be 1 or 2 people right now that want to go, or, you know, 2 people, and there might be 2 tickets left. So just throwing that out there. Excuse me. Hey, Shaw Powers is going to be in the building. Yeah. I look forward to seeing you again, brother. You know, we always have a good time when we link up. It was great meeting you last time. All right. There was somebody I saw I wanted to say what's up to. I said what's up to Eddie Marr. I think I did. Eddie Marr. If I didn't, I'm going to say what's up to you again. Eddie Marr, salute. But here we go. Ah, there he is. Francisco Carrillo in the building. He said, finally, yo, que pasa? What's up, buddy? What's up? Good to see you, man. All right. Parrish Duggar in the building. He said, should I or shouldn't I? Well, listen, man, we have a really good time getting together. I honestly, let me just say that the best part about this whole thing, I mean, one, look at this. I can see my signal's got 1 bar. I hope you guys are seeing me. I'm probably glitching out a little bit, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit because I want people to hear what I'm saying. All right, it's coming back to life. Okay, it's back. Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. This is so frustrating. I'm gonna have to call Spectrum and James Dolan once again. What the hell you doing over here, buddy? Ah, man, it's so upsetting. Anyway, yeah, Parrish, I was just gonna say, like, you know, honestly, the most fun I've had doing any of this. Do I like putting content together and being able to talk to you guys about it? Yes, that's great. The time I get to spend chopping it up with John and Jose, fantastic. But really, the best thing for me has been the ability to like be around and meet the NBK crew and hang together and do things, and also to be able to go to or be a part of events where everybody can get together, where I get to meet the people in the chat, where we get to talk. That I don't for me, that's nothing. There's nothing better. I can't even tell you how exciting and how much fun I have being able to see everybody. Man, this signal is killing me, guys. I'm sorry. It's just it's irking me. I don't get it, man. I don't understand why it's going up and down, man. You guys, sometimes I be feeling like they be trying to get us. There's certain things that they could do to help and improve our signals and stuff like that, but they just want us to keep buying the more expensive package and pumping more money into these things. I be feeling like they're trying to get me, man. Not for nothing. But yeah. Anyway, but that's the deal, Parrish. That's like, I just have a really good time meeting everybody and getting to know people. Listen, at the MBK draft party, honestly, the best part about the whole draft part, I mean, it's fun to watch the draft and to be able to talk about it and all that stuff, but the best part was meeting guys like Quality Jumper and Kareem. Like meeting guys like that was just dope. Like I had a really good time, and these are really, the other thing is, like, you guys are really good people. Like, some of you guys are really, I can't say everybody, haven't met everybody, but for the ones I have met, really good people. Like, if I didn't know anybody through these circles and we met some other way and I would chill with these people. Like, it's to me, I think that's really a real dope experience, and I enjoy it a lot. So Paris Duggar, if you ever have a moment or have the chance to come, by all means, man, it'd be great to see you. And if not that, maybe some other, MBK event. And I can only say MBK because, right now, still Knicks fans ain't big enough to be putting events together. We don't have it right now. Okay. So we'll definitely piggyback with MBK whenever they're doing something. And even though I'm a part of MBK, I still like to talk about them in a different entity. You know what I mean? It's fair. Sim has done a lot, man. That's his platform. He deserves all the credit, man. All right. So salute to Paris Duggar. Salute to Delano Steele Jr. What's going on? DSJ in the building. Julian Blum is here. What's going on? Pudge Nice in the building. Soul Fingers in the building. What's going on? Felicia Lee, good to see you. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. King Embert is here. What's going on? Oh, man. HQ Project Nerd in the building. What's going on, brother? Yankees Morning Brew. Man, you're doing great things over there. Guys, if you haven't checked out Yankees Morning Brew, please do, man. He does a really good job of hosting and putting that show together. He's getting special guests on now. He's starting to blow up over there. And just the content itself. Just if you don't know, like, I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm a Met fan. Y'all know that. But even if I sometimes I still like to follow and know what's going on with the Yanks. And Heck does a great job of informing me and letting me know what's happening with the team, because I'm not a Yankee hater. That's the difference between me and some other fans. I don't hate the Yankees. I'm just not a Yankee fan. And I probably would be more supportive of the Yankees if I didn't go through so much hate back in the day. Yankee fans used to be brutal, man. Let me tell you, brutal. It's a tough time. King Poppy in the building. What's good? Kevin Middleton is here. Salute. Osaduke in the building. What's going on? Judah, my rightness. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Marvin, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yep, I think I got everybody. Okay. So let me get into, let me put this out there just in case. If anybody wants to jump in, by all means, you're always welcome. Appreciate you guys. So, Quentin Grimes. Grimes time. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to go, reverse, because I want to get this out the way, because I know we're not going to spend a lot of time talking on this. This is, may not even be real anyway. So you just want to figure out what's what, throw that out there, and we go from there. But first off, let me say this, guys. And I appreciate you guys for helping me, helping the channel, helping John, helping Jose. All the love you guys have spread for us has been fantastic. But you know what? We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. 1950 and counting. So hit that like button and subscribe. Tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. So if any of y'all know some Knicks fans out there that don't know about still Knicks fans, let them know, man. It's a pretty cool podcast over there that I listen to. Y'all should be listening to it too, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, because we are on the road. We're getting close. We're only 50 away. And you'd be surprised, man. We could get 50 today. That's how quick things happen. So thank you guys. And let me see. I have it here. Computer. There we go. Yeah, I got it. All right. So let me put this up so you guys can see it if you haven't already seen it. This ain't the greatest picture. This is what it is. This is what's floating around. But this is what the new leaked City Edition uniform is supposedly supposed to look like. If it's a true leak or not, I don't know, but whatever. It could be some fan art for all I know, but I'm just going to throw that out there, get this out the way early. So that's it, guys. As you can see, it's kind of a mix match in between the last two City Editions, right? In some form or fashion. Like the last City Edition was the black and orange one, right? That we saw that they featured on Christmas Day. The one that I have, I think I have the RJ one. You guys know the blackout edition that made so much headlines because they used Kimba as the person to model it instead of somebody like Julius. Hey, it is what it is, man. What's the Knicks without controversy? And then if you remember the City Edition, the year before that, it was the one that had the kind of the gradient blue sides, or maybe it was prior to that, but I definitely had the one with the gradient blue sides, and it had the city fireman edition logo, the circle logo. They used RJ to really model that one. So this is kind of a combination of that, because you got the black, right? And then you've got the orange lettering, and then you have the gradient blue and orange sides. I personally like this. I know some people are like, it doesn't really wow them. Others are really feeling it. I don't know how you guys think, what you guys think about it. I like it. I'll hit the full screen because it ain't about me. I think that looks pretty cool to me, guys. I'm a big fan of the orange and blue. So the orange and blue and black, I rock with it. But then again, I'm also one that really liked the orange ones that they used during the Carmelo thing, Carmelo days. The ones that apparently were like, a curse or something, because every time the Knicks wore those orange unis, they didn't win for the most part, and so they felt like they were bad luck. Listen, it wasn't the unis that was bad luck. That wasn't why they wasn't winning. But I thought those all orange and blue ones were dope. I love those. I still use them to this day in 2K. Anytime I get a chance, I put them joints on. But that's just me. So let me know what you guys think about these leaked City Edition uniforms. I think they're okay. I don't think they're bad. I've seen much worse. So let me know what you guys think. And I think there's a new statement uniform they're gonna have this year too. I saw a leak of that, but I'm not posting that because it's just too, like, I'm not sure that that's real. But yeah, I think these are okay. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's get a little interactive with it. Let's just put a little poll in the chat real quick. Why not? Let's see. Just for the sake of it. Okay. There we go. All right. So there we go. You guys can just weigh in. Hit that yes or no. Let me know what you guys think about it. And don't be swayed by what I'm saying. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I personally like it. That's just me. All right. Let me get this out of here. So that's it, folks. Whether or not it's real or not, we don't know. But the chances are it's a good chance it's real, because I also saw something. I saw a custom Nick jersey where you could kind of put your own thing, and it had the same layout on it. I don't know if that was real, but I saw that, like a week ago. Maybe it is real. We'll see. But if it is real, vote in the chat and let's see what you think about it. Okay. So, to Quentin Grimes, I think that personally, and I know I'm a Quentin Grimes stan. Okay, I'm not apologizing for it. I like Quentin Grimes. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I think Quentin Grimes is going to have a great season. I just do. There's something about how hard he's working on his game and what he's doing on the offensive side, trying to improve, that I really like. There's something about watching the guy go out there and put up videos that are highlighted on Twitter of him just showing his defensive footwork. That to me is huge. That's something that I really appreciate, because you don't see that too often from NBA players, and you definitely don't see it from anybody on this Knicks team. Not that they're not working on it. I'm just saying he feels comfortable enough to show you, for someone to put a video out there on social media of him doing that, because he's confident. He knows he's good on defense, and he's only going to get better the more time he gets out there. And this is one of those things that I continue to say. I've said it last year. Guys who play defense, they are, they have a certain skill set, right? It could be their footwork, whatever it is, their technique, their ability to anticipate, whatever it is. And the best ones have it all, right? But the other thing about guys who play defense is that, and I should say people, because the WNBA exists and women play defense too. Just saying. People who play defense is that they're able to study their opponent, because the NBA, now I'm just going to focus on the NBA. So forget what I just said, because I'm only talking about the NBA. Don't mind me. The NBA is so good, and these guys are so talented. It's really tough to stop a player. I know as fans sometimes, and I'm not saying us here, because you guys are people. If you watch this show and you rock with us, I know what type of fan you are. And, a lot of you guys watch other shows. So I know who you are. I know how you look at basketball. I understand you get it. But a lot of fans look at it and they think it's easy. Like, if a guy can play good defense, okay, well, he's got to be able to lock this guy down. No, he doesn't. Because it's very hard to lock down a good NBA player. Good NBA players are phenomenal. I know sometimes they may not look as good because they're going up against their peers, other NBA players, but you guys know how this is. I'm not saying anything new. You take an NBA player that's been playing, that's comfortable, it's not off season, they're right. They got their game is going. You take that same NBA player and put him on any street court anywhere in America, and they will torch everybody out there. They'll make it look so easy you won't even believe it. Like, I can't believe this guy don't miss, because that's how it is. That's how good they are in their element when they're playing in the NBA against their peers, and the pressure and the defense is not as easy. You take them out of that, where they don't have that same thing, where they don't have fans screaming at them, and there's not a pressure packed situation. They can just go play against guys who are not good in comparison. Taking candy from a baby, you know what I mean? It's that expression. So even with a guy like Quentin Grimes, who I think is going to be one of the better defenders in the league. Not saying the best, not going crazy, all that stuff you got to work at, but one of the better defenders. It takes time. You're gonna have to play these guys, and that's the other thing. He was a rookie last year. He didn't get to play. I don't even know if Quentin Grimes was on the court against every single team in the NBA. So I can't say that he knows how everybody plays. There's going to be matchups. There's going to be guys he hasn't even really seen like that. He doesn't know their tendencies, what they like, what's their spots. Like, you got to learn all of this stuff. And so when you play like a really good player, they're going to get you. He may play well and get them a couple good times, but if they're that good, they're going to get him more than he gets them because he doesn't know them that well. So going into this season, if he gets to play more consistently, he'll be able to study guys, especially on the East, when the Knicks play teams 3-4 times, or 4 times, should I say. He'll have a few games to really get to understand and learn these guys and what they like to do, where they like to be on the court, and how their teammates set them up. And then you can be able to anticipate, and that helps with your defense as well, learning these spots. So yeah, I think he'll be great at that. I think he'll be fine. I think the Knicks have to, and I understand it. I know a lot of Knicks fans are a little upset because the Knicks used him as a chip to not go all in on the trade for Donovan Mitchell at certain points. That was somebody they did not want to trade. But I mean, guys, do I think Quentin Grimes is better than Donovan Mitchell? No, obviously not. But does it make sense that they felt like if there's anybody we can't give up, it's got to be Quentin Grimes? I get it, because the Knicks have a hard time playing perimeter defense. They don't have anybody they can depend on. Right now, the best perimeter defender that they have on the team on paper is Quentin Grimes. So if you're saying to yourself, if I go get Donovan Mitchell, he hasn't shown me that he could be a decent defender on the perimeter. Jalen Brunson, he may work at it, but he's not the greatest defender on the perimeter. And then we're not going to do we have to talk about Fournier? Right? Deuce may be a good defender on the perimeter, but he don't play, and he won't play. It's just the reality. RJ can be better, but this past year he didn't show it. He regressed. I assume he will be better this year, but he still has slow footwork, and there's certain things he can't make up for. So when he plays some of the better talent in the NBA, he's going to have bad moments. It's just going to happen. He might be better, but he's going to have some moments. And so on and so forth. Derrick Rose is not a great defender. He's a willing defender, and he actually has improved over the years. He's pretty good. He has moments, but he's not the greatest defender. You know what I mean? He's better than maybe Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, but that's not saying that much. So the Knicks know, Leon Rose knows, Tom Thibodeau knows that the best perimeter defender on this New York Knicks team is Quentin Grimes. So you're going to need him if you didn't get Donovan here, and you were going to need him if you got Donovan here. So I guess that's the reason why the Knicks had to make a call and say, look, if there's one guy we got to keep, it's him, because he helps the element of us trying to play defense on the perimeter. So I understood it. I think people might be looking at it too deeply. Do I also think that he'll be a better offensive player and someone who can build with the team? Yes, I think that too. I think he really is the best commodity the Knicks have on the perimeter right now. But I think someone that gets overlooked is Emmanuel Quickley. We'll talk about him a little bit more, but I think he's another person that I think is starting to become a real special player on both sides of the ball. So someone we got to look at a little deeper. So that being said, I think it's a little unfair. I think the expectations are a little crazy for Quentin Grimes this year, and I hope that everybody just takes their foot off the gas and gives this kid a real chance to learn in his second season in the NBA. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just give the kid a chance to learn, get better, and show us some of the stuff he's worked on. Well, that has to do with Thibodeau too. He's got to let this kid play. But that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Let me just see some of the comments. DSJ said if it was just the black jersey, it would be a go. What do you mean just the black jersey? Oh, like nothing on the sides? I got you. I think that's what you're trying to say. Soul Finger, it's okay, not over the top, but I would still rock that Joker out here in Cali. Yeah, I get it. I get it. See, that's the thing. I think that's what some people are kind of like. It's okay. It's like it's not like wow, like oh yeah, I've never seen something like that before. Maybe that's what people are looking for. It's. I just like it. I mean, I'm a plain guy. I know this hat doesn't look like I'm a plain guy, but I'm a plain guy. Like I like a lot of plain muted tones or whatever. So I don't know. It looks okay to me. JJ's not really feeling it. Okay, I hear you, brother. King Poppy, I'm with you. I like that all orange one. Yeah, man. I'm one of the few that really like it. Some people, I don't know, they're scared of it. Superstitious. Interesting. Infamous New King said all black on solid blue stripe down one side and a solid orange stripe down the other would go harder. That's an interesting thought. Interesting. The statement jerseys from last season was perfect. Yeah, I agree. I like them. They were dope. Maybe the curse is the colors. Okay. Maybe you're right, bro. I agree with that. Hey, Knicks Nation 112. Weather players well. What's going on, man? Salute. Bricks Nation in the building. Salute. Hey, man. I don't know. You may be right about that. I need some merch to be able to agree with you 100% though. Maybe one day. And I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks decided to come out with a jersey that doesn't really reflect the Knicks colors so much, just a splash of something different. I mean, look at this hat, for example. Now, I wouldn't do this because this got that Miami feel all over it, and then the Knicks just couldn't do it. It'd be like biting Miami's flow. It doesn't work. But you know what I mean? Like, do something different where you get a color combination that you're just not really expecting, but looks good, not some crazy looking ugliness. Like even though I salute what they were trying to do, I can't stand those green St. Patrick's Knick jerseys. I don't know. I just don't like them. Looks like a Christmas tree to me. And I just didn't like it. I'm sorry. It's just me. I apologize. Yeah, I saw that. Not a big fan of that either. We need a third option on the voting poll. Hey man, I'm sorry. You're indifferent. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna star that. I'm gonna come back to what you said there, Parrish, in a second. All right, you star that too. Salute to Keyshawn in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. And it's true. That's how it is, man. You can't you can't stop everybody. You can only contain them. It's very true. Certain guys, they're so special. It don't matter who you put on them. I don't care who it is. There's some advantage. Marcus Smart, one of the best defenders in the league. Can he affect some of KD's shots here and there? Yeah, of course. But will KD always have a better chance to get Marcus Smart because he has that height advantage, right? He's got certain tools that it's just hard for Marcus Smart to have to deal with on a consistent basis. And then there's other guys that may be Marcus Smart's height, similar height, but the way they score is something tough for him to contain. J. Randall Ewing says Knicks we are notorious for overrating our bus drafts. We will rue the day we missed on Spider. Horrible. You may be right. I don't know. We got to see. But I can't worry too much about it because, we all here. It's over now. It is what it is. Agent Super Argo in the building. What's good? This Knicks team has a plethora of weapons that are simply not being utilized properly by Tibbs. I agree with that 100%. Come back to that because that gets into the next topic that we'll talk about. And like that's the thing that I don't want us to lose sight on, because remember, before this whole Donovan Mitchell stuff started, and it seemed like it was a real opportunity for us to talk about him and get him here, the Knicks fans were feeling good about the youth. It was like, we saw what they did towards the end of the season. Forget who they played. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that they were playing. You know what I mean? And I'm really like, my favorite time of the last this past season was the moment when the Knicks decided that they had to play the kid. Actually, no, it might have been before that. Whatever. It was one of those. It was that moment where Tibbs had decided to start playing some of these young guys, right? And this is when Cam Reddish was healthy. When we got to see Deuce, Cam, Grimes, RJ, all of these guys out there at the same time on the court. I mean, not at the same time, but they all played in the same game and had impact. Might have been the game where we beat, I don't remember now. It might have been the game where we beat Memphis. It could have been that game, or at least maybe during that week, when we were playing some good competition and the Knicks were playing hard and they were playing really good. Yeah, I think it might have been that week. I think it's the same week we beat the Clippers, because I never forget. I had bet on that game. I think I needed Luke Kennard to hit like 2 threes in the second half, and the Knicks locked him down. He couldn't even get a shot off from the perimeter. I was like, holy crap, what is happening? Cam was out there. Grimes was out there playing defense on him. Deuce was out there. Yeah, it was nice to see. And that was like the first time we got to see them young guys really get out there and make a difference on the defensive end, when they got the playing time. That, to me, was my highlight moment of this past season. That's just me. So, yeah. Let me do this. All right. Keyshawn says, Knick fans are all gas. Not all of them, but there is a lot. JJ, that is a very, very interesting point that you make there. And I would say you are not far-fetched. If you look at the numbers, you may be right. And it's only because Quentin Grimes was hurt. And there was times that he wasn't playing. But even when he did play and he was out there, it took him a little time to really get comfortable. But then he got hurt, right? So he didn't really get a chance to show you more, while Quickly was healthy for the most part and played throughout everything, throughout the whole first half slump that he was going through. Tibbs still had him out there playing. And in fairness to Quickly, got to give him credit. He was playing good defense. Like, he knew what wasn't working, so he was trying to do other things in the court. So I got to respect him. No, I'm not gonna say that. No, I think you're gonna see Grimes is gonna be a better player than Landry Fields Jr. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Landry Fields had some moments, I thought, but the thing about him, Landry Fields was a really good rebounder. He worked hard on that corner three. He can knock that corner three down. He wasn't as great when you moved him around the court, but that corner three he can knock down. And he had a little splash in his game. With he can get to the rim and dunk a little bit. But that's pretty much what he was. I think Grimes is a better defender than Landry Fields. We'll see what happens. I think there's going to be some things that pleasantly surprise a lot of Knicks fans this year. I think I'm going to get into them in a little bit. That's true. Knicks fans did turn their backs on you and Carmelo and Randall at different moments. And next up is RJ. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think RJ is going to have a moment at some point. But I'm hoping that RJ gets out to a good start. We'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping that he gets out to a good start because he's a notoriously slow starter. And I expect it to happen again this year, but I'm hoping it doesn't. You know, at some point, you got to be able to break certain habits or certain patterns, right? Look at this. Look at this. Connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router and moving closer to it. I'm not on Wi-Fi. As a matter of fact, I'm plugged in now. That's another change, guys. Ever since this show, we've been rocking for almost 2 years. Not quite yet. Like a year and 10 months. I was on Wi-Fi this whole time. Last 2 months, I've got a better package, bought a better modem, better router, and now I'm plugged in, wired. And look, okay, don't get me started, guys. Can't do it. Let's see. All right. Andy, what's good? Salute, brother. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Andy says a white jersey with a gray city line outline would be fire, but the Knicks ain't paying me for the design. Actually, I wouldn't be bad at all. I mean, I would be okay with that. It would be a change of pace, and I'm okay with something a little different. I mean, for the Knicks, that will work because they got so much color in their other jerseys. That one jersey that's more of a muted tone but has a nice city outline. Yeah, I'll be okay with it because it's just one jersey, and you don't have to make everything overly colorful. It's not bad. It's not bad, Andy. Cormega in the building. What's good? Salute. Appreciate you. Damn, I've been kind of breezing through. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Ashley Inc. is in the building. What's good? There we go. Steven Vargas is in the building. What's going on? White jersey with the Statue of Liberty logo. I mean, as long as the logo is kind of like outlined or something like that, maybe. I don't want to see a white jersey with the green Statue of Liberty on it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that white and green combo. It makes me think of the Celtics. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of green. That could be it. But I do like money green and that Army Marine color green. I get everybody. I see that super chat. Thank you. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit. Geraldine McIver Grimes should have to earn his playing time if they think he is good. Let him take the starting spot. Here we go again, throwing another player under the bus that wants to be here. You ain't lying, Geraldine. That's what I'm worried about. I think that's one of those things we're going to have to really look at because Knicks fans, they might be brutal, and it's not fair to him. It's not his fault. It's not like he said, take me out of the trades, or I'm very valuable here, so don't try to trade me. It wasn't him. It's not right. All right, let me see. Let me get back to a couple of these starred comments, and then I'll get to the super chat. Lou Memorabilia said, he's a Yankee fan. That's okay. That's all right. I still respect you. You're welcome. You can be here anytime you want, man. Why can't we unload Fournier, Cam, and Rose for Russ and the top 10 protected first? We may be able to even run Russ at the 2, then let him walk. Honestly, look, I'm not opposed to it because of the whole thing. You get to unload some guys that if they're not going to have a future here long term, this is your chance to move them, right? You get that expiring contract. I'm okay with it to, yeah, I guess I am okay with it. I think there's a lot of Knicks fans that are not ready to do something like this because of the loyalty or the untapped potential. And even my co-host John, he made a really good point about Cam being here. Even if Cam is not going to be here long term, having him on the team, you just don't know what you can get from him. Not only might he be able to help the Knicks win some games because he has that type of talent if he gets to play. The other thing is having him on the team, breeds good competition and helps push guys like RJ Barrett and guys of that nature. Like having a guy like that helps push other guys, because some guys, if you don't have anything for them to worry about, someone to push them in practice and stuff like that, they can really rest on their laurels and get real comfortable. And when that happens, you don't get to see the best out of these guys and how they play out there. The play gets affected. And once again, guys, I'm sorry. Bear with me. I apologize. I don't know, because I don't know how it's coming over the stream. If it's going in and out a lot, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. But I will be calling Spectrum once again to find out what the hell is going on. I might need a site visit. I think I need a site visit for them to come out and take a look at everything. But hopefully you guys can see everything and we're rocking. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Lou memorabilia. I just don't know if everybody's okay with it, because some people, one, they don't want Russ here on the team at all. Like they feel like he's a poison. He can contaminate what we got going on. They don't want him anywhere near it. I can understand it. Two, some people don't want to give up on Cam because there's a chance that Cam might be here if he plays really good. I don't think so. But listen, John made a good point when I was talking to him about it. He said, who knows? Maybe Cam might be willing to take money on the cheap to stay. And if the Knicks can't get anybody else at the time, maybe they could get him on a team-friendly contract for a player who has a lot of potential and might be good for the Knicks going forward. If he shows out, he would have to show out this year for us to even warrant giving him $1. You know what I mean? Like he got a ball. So there's a chance. The other thing I was talking about as far as loyalty is with Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose gave us his second time around being here with us, and that 2 seasons ago, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have made the playoffs. But I don't know if Rose is going to be able to repeat that feat with these Knicks this season. It's a tough ask to ask him to be able to do that, especially after being hurt and coming back once again. You can't, 2 years older since then. It's tough. You can't expect that from him. And then Fournier, listen, he's just the Knick player. I don't want to say you love to hate him. I don't know. I don't have a phrase for it, but you guys understand. Fournier is just the player that deserves better. And really, he never should have been a Knick. That's what it is. I think that's where like a lot of fans get a little twisted, get a little confused. Fournier is a good player, but he's a certain type of player, right? And on another team, Fournier is a really good fit, guys. Don't get it twisted. He's not a bum. Fournier is good. He just doesn't have a certain skill set that this Knick team needs. On another team, one, his defensive issues won't be as big on another team because maybe they're a better defensive team. They have better weapons overall. And two, what he adds offensively with his 3-point shooting would be really big for another team. So I don't like people to, because ever since Fournier got here, I was one of the I was one of the the minority of Knicks fans that thought he was going to be good and he should have more time, because I looked at where he was at other places and I see that it takes him a little while to get comfortable. I'm not as high on Fournier the way Andy is. Shout out to you, Andy. But I still respected his game throughout the whole season. Of course, there was moments where he got me a little upset, but in the end, I know what he is, right? And I think there's value for that in this league. There's not many people who can do that anymore. Those guys are like a dime a dozen. And even in the heyday, they were a dime a dozen. Now there's even less of them because guys like JJ Redick, he's out of here. Kyle Korver, he way out of here. Ray Allen turned into that guy like at the very end of his career, but he was already a superstar. Like some of those specialist guys, there's not many left when you think about it. Maybe it's because the fact that the NBA is like the game has changed. There's more people shooting threes. So those guys aren't as valuable anymore because now everybody's shooting threes. Even big men are jacking up threes. But yeah. So I think Fournier fits that mold and he's a specialist and there's value there. And he tries, man. He tries. And I will say one thing. He wants to be his time here. He shows he wants to be a Knick. Like he tries and he's passionate about the team. So I'll give him credit for that. But I just don't think he fits what this Knicks team is trying to do. If the Knicks had a better overall roster with, players who, and if we had an identity, knew what we were doing and we were comfortable, then maybe a guy like Fournier would matter more then. But right now, this team's all over the place. Just saying. Parrish Douglas says, hey, Ron, I'm quickly and an Obi guy. So with Grimes, one, how is it okay to keep saying Grimes wasn't offered in the deal for Donovan and he was? And two, why would he put expectations on him in year two? Well, one, he was offered in early deals, right? And I think one of the deals at the very end he was offered because the Knicks were trying to get it done. But if you remember, there was points in the middle of negotiations because this negotiation went on for about a month and 3 weeks. About that. Yeah. There was plenty of deals that were out there. And there was a point where the Knicks brass said, no, we don't want to trade Grimes. And they started taking him out of deals. And when Utah offered him, they were saying no. He was back in at some point, and he was probably there initially. But you got to understand, in the level of negotiation, one, you don't want to give in to whatever. I mean, I'm saying this in general for anybody. You don't want to give in to what the other team wants right away. And if they do want something, you still want to explore what you would like to trade, right? And have that period of time where, okay, that's not going to work at all. Okay, we got to move on. And then when that started to happen, maybe other things. We only know about certain things that happen, and we don't even know if everything's true. But I'm sure there was other trade packages that were thrown out there too that got rejected immediately. We don't even know what those included, right? So there was a point, and that has been mentioned by Ian Begley, by other people in the know, that the Knicks did not want to trade Quentin Grimes. That doesn't mean he wasn't included in some packages, and even in one of the late packages, because I think they said there was a late package that included RJ and Grimes at the same time. But still, at some point, they didn't want to put Quentin Grimes in there. And I think that's smart, to be honest with you guys. If you look at what I said earlier, and this Knicks team, the way it's constructed, and the fact that we don't have a lot of perimeter defenders, and then you were going to bring in Donovan Mitchell in this small backcourt, which some of you were upset about. Yeah, I would want to hold on to Quentin Grimes too. I'm like, I need somebody to play defense. And if I'm going to be struggling in my starting lineup, when my bench team comes in, I need that. Like for me, if you were to bring him in here and have Jalen and Donovan starting, a bench coming in after of like a Quickly, I know it would probably be Derrick Rose, but I'm saying like a Quickly and Grimes in the backcourt makes a huge difference because those two dudes will play defense. They're going to change the whole dynamic of the game. And most likely they do it against the bench players of the other team. So the Knicks, if they're losing or if they're winning, would have a better chance to extend the lead or get back in the game because now they could play some defense. So yeah, I could understand why you'd want to hold on to him. Just saying. But anyway, Parrish Duggar, whether or not like it's either one is true or not, like, you know what I mean? That's the narrative that's out there. And that's the narrative that Knicks fans are going to run with. That's how they're going to see Quentin Grimes this whole season. Whether or not you like it, I like it, or if there's certain things that are misnomers and are not true, that's what's going to happen. Throughout this whole season, they're going to put pressure and the media is going to find the way to use it because that's what, the media is, they're monsters, man. They'll find a way to use that. That's what I'm saying. CA Mafia says Grimes plays better defense than Fournier, but won't shoot like Fournier. It's really about what you think we need more, defense or floor spacing. That's a good point. I think that Grimes is still very inconsistent with his jump shot. I think he can improve on that, but I think one of the things Grimes needs is the same thing Obi needs. They need to be able to play and be focal points, not the main focal point, but they need to be focal points of the offense. Like you need to run sets and run certain things for these two players. And when you do that, things will be better. Like they'll start to feel confident in their shots. And when you start to feel confident, you see how they play. You looked at Obi. I don't care who Obi was playing towards the end of the season, but once he got a little confident, you saw how things were. He felt better about his game, and it helped him. He was more willing to do certain things, and his shot was falling. Like he could just, like when you lack confidence, you'd be surprised. Things you do every day that you know you can do with ease don't work. And I think for Quentin, his thing is about, because he works. He's got a great form. He's one of the better shooters when he gets going. A guy like that should he could be like John Starks. John Starks was a very streaky scorer, streaky shooter. But when he was on, he was on. Yes, we saw the bad. It's true. We saw the bad. But the good was really good when he was on. And so Quentin Grimes could be like that, or maybe he could be better if he can be a little bit more consistent with his shot. But you never know. You just got to give the guy opportunities and build up his confidence. And back to you, Agent Super Argo. Your point, the Knicks team has a plethora of weapons that are simply not being utilized properly by Tibbs. That I agree with. And I think that, there's players like Quentin Grimes, players like, and not for lack, because Grimes got hurt. He was starting to play more. But like Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel quickly, I think he's going to play a bigger and more expanded role. And we got to try to use Cam Reddish while he's here. Got to try to use him. Got to. Because one, he can help the team win some games. And two, we got to showcase him, man, because if he's not going to be here, he's got to get traded at the trade deadline. The worst thing the Knicks can do, guys, is play Cam Reddish, right? Get the fans all hyped up. Yo, Cam is look at Cam balling out here. That's what I told y'all he was real. And then at the end of the season, keep him. And the Knicks is like, yeah, we want to give Cam 60 to 70 million or 80 million tops. No, I don't even know about that, but Cam wants 100. We can't do it. Now Cam walks. And we're like, what? So you saw Cam ball out. You didn't want to pay him what he wanted, which it could be in fairness. Like there's not too many $100 million contracts we can give out. And Cam didn't want that money because, Cam knows he's a good player. If Cam balls out for the Knicks, Cam's going to want to get paid. And then you wind up letting him walk because you can't pay him. Like that would be a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but it wouldn't be a good look. It's not how you move forward in business. Like the decision has to be made by the trading deadline for Cam Reddish. If Cam Reddish looks like he's balling throughout this first half of the season, you make a decision. Before trade deadline, you say, look, this kid, he's got it. And it looks like it's finally clicking. We got to put some money in Cam. So then what you do is you try to lock him up early. Maybe give him something before he starts really feeling himself. Like, oh, maybe he'll take 60 or 70 million. Who knows? I don't know. I can see it happening, maybe. Then you do it that way. But I tell you, I'm sorry. I just don't trust it. I just don't trust guys who are injury prone. Like, there's not too many guys who can turn it around the way Steph Curry did. Steph Curry was phenomenal. Those ankle injuries were nuts. Okay. He could not play at all. It was so bad, but he turned it around. I don't know what he did, but then again, he's one of the best players, maybe, he got the best trainers, the best doctors, the physical treatment, all that stuff. He turned it around and he's had an incredible NBA career. Who knows? Even if the Knicks would have drafted him, if he would have been able to do it, because maybe he wouldn't have been around the same personnel. But you know, he's fortunate. But I I don't know. There's not many Steph Currys out there. That's all I'm saying. So guys who usually run through those issues, who are injury prone, it's tough. It's tough. We'll see. Anyway, thank you to Jay Randall Ewing. Appreciate the generous super chat. He said, don't we have to finally trust the process like Philly did? Pray for Vic and Tank. Well, look. Here's the problem. And this is the problem. I just can't see the Knicks ever successfully tanking. They don't know how to do it. They've never done it right since I've been a Knicks fan. Every time you think they're going to do it, what do? In their best chance years ago, they had the third worst record. At one point, they had the worst record in the league, but then it turned out to be the third worst record in the league, if I'm not mistaken. What do? The last 4 or 5 games of the season, they decided to go winning. I think they won either 4 or 5 in a row to end the season and changed their draft lottery odds. You can't make this stuff up. And they wound up with the 3rd pick in the draft. RJ Barrett. Don't get me wrong. That's still a really good pick. But they could have had Zion or John Morant. You know, a couple of more of them, you know, whatever. I don't know how many more ping pong balls would have been, but more than ping pong balls would have made a difference. And most likely, if they had have lost those last 4 games or whatever it was, they would have had, you know, because I think the worst 2 teams get the most ping pong balls, those last 2, if I'm not mistaken. It might have guaranteed them a first or a second pick. And let me tell you something. Even though I love RJ Barrett, he's my favorite Knicks player, I'd much rather have a John Morant or even a Zion if I'm thinking of this Knicks team building going forward. I don't want to deal with Zion's weight issues and stuff like that. But if Zion's healthy, we know what Zion is. John Morant, you know, he's not the best shooter, but he's a great scorer. And he has time to work on his shot. So he can become better at it. Anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. Let me see here. Go backwards. Salute to Sherwin. What's good? He said the last time the Knicks had a young player as talented as Cam Reddish, his name was Stephon Marbury. Yeah, we saw how that worked. You saw how they treated Steph. Listen, there's a video. Okay, I see you, Parrish. I'm coming back to that. Oh, okay. I come to your question too, Eddie Mar. Give me a second. Mike Boy in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you. Yeah, like Kerry Cox. Salute. Appreciate you. Julian Blum in the building. I thought I said this already, but I feel like I didn't. I might have just seen your name, but I didn't acknowledge it. Salute, Julian. Appreciate you, man. King Ribby in here. What's good? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. All right, let me share this with you guys, and I'll answer. This will lead me into my answer to your question, Eddie Mar. Share. All right. You guys remember this? This was Quentin Grimes versus Milwaukee in his first start for the Knicks. It's not HD quality, but you know, you get it. Look at this. Look at how he's being featured. Look at him making a pass, getting dudes open. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the defense. Look at the defense. Let's go, Quentin. Making a change, making some impact on the team, affecting winning. Look at that splash. Okay, getting in the passing lane. There you go, Quentin. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the Knicks value him, because you know this is the type of stuff he can do. Oh, slashing. There you go. Nice. And you know, in this game, he set the rookie record for threes made, I believe, with 7, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the form. Beautiful. Splash. When Quentin's right, Quentin is right. Look at this one. Heat check is coming. Nice. Very nice, man. This is what I want to see from Quentin Grimes this year, as well as more, because I think we'll be able to see him doing more slashing, getting to the basket, breaking down his opponent. So a lot of Knicks fans were upset about this game because he wasn't really featured in the second half at all. That was one of the rare shots he got. Here's another one. And then they started to go away from him. Okay. Anyway, you guys get it. You see what I'm saying. So to answer your question, Eddie Marr, who you think, Grimes or Cam? I'm going to say Grimes because I know what I think Grimes is going to be. And I think outside of that injury that he had, I think Grimes is gonna stay pretty much healthy. I don't know that to be for certain. Excuse me. What I do know is that Cam struggles to stay healthy because, and I know that's not fair to the kid. He's a young guy, a really good game. Obviously, his game is better than Grimes's game, but it's just the fact that I don't know if he can stay healthy. Every time I think Cam is doing something special, and he's got to be very frustrated too. He gets hurt, and then it takes away from all that. Then he's got to start over again and get back to being comfortable and getting that flow again. It's not fair to him, but I'm just saying that's how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, on paper, Cam and you know is 100% better than Grimes, because remember, Cam is a good defender. He's not a Grimes level defender, but he can defend. He just don't get after it the way Grimes does. But he can defend. He would still be one of the better defenders they have on the Knicks at the perimeter. And offensively, of course, he's way better than Grimes offensively. If he gets out there and gets his game going, Cam is nice. We just don't see it. That's my problem. That's why I keep saying. That's the thing that I keep saying, man. Cam just hasn't shown it to us. We know he can do it. He just hasn't shown it to us. We've only seen it in spurts. For example, let me see. Do I have it? I think I do. I think I do. Yeah, let me go to this guy. This still Knicks fans guy. He's pretty good over here, posting up some good stuff. Maybe he's got something I can I can show for you guys that represents. And shout out. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Found it. All right, let me take the sound off. Give me a second. Damn, that damn sound off. It's loud. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Somebody posted this on Twitter, and I saw it, and I said, you know what? This is a shame. and it really doesn't make any sense why it has to be this way. But this is just how it is, man. Uh, let me share this with you guys because this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm looking for, and I don't see it. There we go. All right, here we go. So they posted this up, right? And this is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You see it, SGA. Look how he's going after. Look at how aggressive he's. Oh, watch yourself. Oh, you think no way you ain't stopping that. No way. Look at this. Shea, in your mouth. Bang. Talking trash too, letting them know about it. Oh, watch yourself. Look at this. Getting crazy with it. Oh, Shea to the basket. Nope. Oh, look at yourself. Oh, no. Look at Shea. Look at Shea. Mm-hmm. Giddy. Nope. Not stopping it. Look. Nope. You ain't guarding me. Nope. In your mouth. There you go. Look at this. Look at how smooth, guys. Doing whatever he wants. That was too easy. We're not going to talk about that. No more words. Him. Look at you love it. Oh, look at this. There we go. Is it repeating? I think it is repeating. But y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Anyway, yeah, it's repeating. So my point is, like, watching that video, I'm like, yo, SGA looks good. But I couldn't even really respect it because all I was thinking is, Cam Reddish could do this. Cam should be doing this. This is how Cam should be moving. Cam got all those skills. Cam could do everything that we just saw SGA just do. But he don't play like that. No, I hear you, Bricks Nation. There's no defense being played. But even if defense is played, listen, I seen SGA throughout the end of the season last year. He was averaging like 30-something points week by week, killing it in the second half. So it's not it. You know, he can score. It don't matter if the defense is being played or not. SGA knows how to score. But my point is the aggressiveness, the way he's going at his teammates, that's the type of stuff I want to see Cam do. That's the type of stuff that I'm looking to see him get out there and get. You know, I need to see the Cam that I heard so much about throughout his high school days, his AAU tournament days, all that stuff. I need to see that Cam start to shine through. I need Cam to say, listen, you got RJ giving him money. You giving Julius Randle money. You brought Jalen Brunson in here. I'm better than all of them. And I'm going to show you I'm better than all. I'm going to kill these dudes in practice. And when we get on the court, when I get the ball, you're going to see that I'm better than all these guys. That is what I need Cam to show me. That's what I want to see because Cam has that much talent. I don't think that's a crazy thing to ask of a player. And it's not about me. It's about him. Like, he's trying to get paid and he's trying to show that he is, you know, one of those next level type of NBA stars. Not yet, but you know what I mean? That can go to that next level and become one of these guys. I would think that's what he wants for himself. Am I wrong in saying that? I don't think so. Yeah, I can't agree with you there, Knicks Nation. You see it in spurts. I agree. Like, he's got the ability to do it. He just doesn't do it consistently. He doesn't do it enough. Like, listen, let me tell you something. Some of that stuff that you keep hearing about Cam, like how you go and the rest of the NBA knows the kid can ball and they talk about him, but it's a lot of past tense. It's not current stuff. It's not like, oh, yo, did you see what Cam did to us the other day? No, they're talking about high school Cam, AAU Cam. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I need to see that level from the Cam that's in the NBA. Now, I do know he had a nice little stretch in the playoffs with Atlanta. Very good. I'm not taking that away. But that was all we've seen. Cam, this is his 4th year in the league. You know what I mean? You guys, I get it. The guy got the game. But if you don't see it consistently, if you're running this Knick organization and Cam has, like, say Cam plays 65 games, right? 20 of those games, Cam balls out, has really good games. 45 of those games, he has subpar games, or maybe he doesn't look good at all in some of them. Do you think you should give Cam $80 million for that? Would you, if you were running the Knicks? That's the type of question I want you to ask yourself. Would you do it? Would you say, because remember, this is the guy you're going to invest in. And if he's going to play that way, you know, for the next 4 years or whatever, you're going to have to deal with it. And if the Knicks don't get better and you're like, yo, we gave Cam 80 million and he's not doing anything, how would you feel? I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. I'm just saying, as a Knick organization, that's a fair thing that they got to look at. And I can understand it. Let me see here. No, you're right. But imagine a guy who's not a shot maker who can average high 20s in points. That just means he's an incredible scorer, right? Let me see here. You got me thinking now. Let's see. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaged 24.5 points a game. He shot 30% from three. He shot 45% from the field. So imagine that. A guy who shoots 30% from three, averaging almost 25 points per game. That means he's an elite scorer, not a great shot maker. You're correct. He's not a good shooter. Well, I should say a great shooter. I mean, because I guess he could get hot. He could have moments, but yeah, he's not a good shooter like that. He's a great scorer. Still says something. Says something about your game when you can score almost 25 points. It is not easy to score 25 points per game in the NBA. It's not easy. And that means he's doing it consistently against all types of different defense. But I'm with you. So that's the question, meaning that you feel a certain way, Bricks Nation. I wonder how the rest of you guys feel about it. Would you prefer Cam or SGA? Think about that one. So let's see. New York in the building. What's good? RJ was meant for New York. You may be right. You may be right. Angel Torres says, just hope Tibbs plays Cam. I hear you. I think he needs to. D Coolest 718, appreciate you. Salute, brother. He said, have you noticed Cam practicing with the knee protection on? It's a bit concerning to if he's fully healthy or not. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, bro. And actually, you know what? Thanks for pointing that out, because the last time I saw Cam practice, I wasn't even paying attention. So I didn't even notice that. I will look at that going forward, though. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Nope. We're not having that talk, Andy. I'm not trading RJ for SGA. Like, I just don't see the point in that. It's like trading RJ for Zion. I just don't see the point on that. I don't see how you get the best out of that connection that those guys have. Like, RJ has a good connection with SGA because the countrymen, whatever, they came up in the same circuits. RJ has a great connection with Zion. You know why? Like, why would I want to trade those two for each other? And those, like, I wouldn't want to do that. You want to try to make things work in a situation so you can get the best. You want to maximize these guys' happiness. Not that that's what matters, but you know what? In today's NBA, these guys are emotional. Like, it's good to get them in happy places, right? Because you can get even more out of them. Just saying. Cam may be worth 15 mil if healthy. I can see that. Smash that like button, by the ways, guys. If you haven't already done so, definitely hit that like button. Just drop down the live chat, hit the like button, and then bring the live chat back up. That's how you do it. Appreciate y'all, man. The road to 2,000 subscribers is here, folks. Today we started off with 1950 and counting. So hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if there's people out there, you know, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. We appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Cully in the building. What's good? Salute, brother. Salute. Where you been at, Cully? I haven't chopped it up with you in a minute, man. Paris Douglas says, Cam, I need to see 20 starts. I would love that. That would be great. Dwayne Dennis, what's good? He says, Cam Reddish has a low motor, just like Kevin Knox. For someone with his talent, he should becoming into camp in the best shape of his life. He should be in the gym every day improving his craft. I agree. And he does have a low motor like Kevin Knox. I don't know how y'all can avoid that. It's very true. Now, Kevin Knox is worse. Kevin Knox works hard, but his motor is that way. It is what it is. He's got one of the worst motors I've seen. And unfortunately, when the scouts are right, they're right. And they're not always right. Sometimes they can be wrong. But in fairness, when they said Kevin Knox had a low motor and that was the knock on him, it's just like this time they were right. Knicks didn't care. They didn't pay attention. You know, and here's the problem with being a Knicks fan. Like, there's so many expectations. There's so many years of being mediocre and losing that no matter what you do, it's not perfect. It's not enough because Knicks fans, you know, we want a lot and we expect a lot because we've seen so much that hasn't worked out. But what would make you guys feel better? I kind of think I know what the answer is, even though, but would you have been happier with Kevin Knox being drafted by the Knicks or Michael Porter Jr., knowing that he had those back issues and they were afraid if he was ever going to be able to be healthy enough to play consistently? You can see right now they just lost this past season with him again. But you know, when he's out there, he's a bucket. He can ball. So what would you guys have been happier with? Michael Porter Jr. or Kevin Knox? One guy is always available to play, but you don't want him out there. And when he's out there, he's not doing anything. The other guy, when he's out there, is a bucket, but he's never out there. That's an interesting question. Feliciano Media Company. Do you see Mello coming back to fill a bench role on second or third team? First off, salute to you. I think this has got to be your first time being here, at least in the chat. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Do you see Mello coming back to fill a bench role on a second or third team? I think I actually could see Mello coming back. And I know some Knicks fans, with good reason, don't really want Mello here because they think that Tibbs is just going to use him the way he did with the other vets last year, and it's going to take away from the kids. You may be right. But I could kind of see it because I think the Knicks striking out on Donovan, I think Mello is a good PR move for some people. I think people want to see Mello back here. I'm not opposed to Mello being here, but like I said, the way some Knicks fans feel, I'm not far from it. I don't want Tibbs to have another crutch that he can use to stop allowing the youth movement to happen. Like, right now we have to figure out how we're going to play some of these guards. You know, bringing in Mello adds to the other side of it. Then you run into a forward thing. Then you got 3 power forwards, right? Randall, Mello, and Obi. And as much as I want Obi to get a chance to play, and right now Obi should be playing before Mello, how long do you think that would happen under Tibbs? How long before Tibbs sees Mello knock down a couple consistent jumpers and he's like, oh, yeah, I need Mello out there first. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. That's what I'm a little worried about. I don't know. Wayne Peterson in the building. Salute. What's good? Yeah, I agree with that, Parrish. It's tough to get rid of a fourth-year, 24-year-old in Cam before seeing what he's worth, before seeing what he is with the team. Agreed. I'm You're not going to hear an argument from me. I'm just thinking that you got to be realistic about it. You don't put yourself in a situation where you don't trade an asset if it's available to you, if you're not going to keep them. That's the whole thing that I keep saying, because in the end, this is a business. And as much as we love these guys, for whatever reason we like them, the Knicks organization is going to look at it as a certain way. If they know they're not going to pay Cam, then guess what? They're going to move him, because they don't want to have a guy like that who has the skills to be something special. Some team's going to need him, right? So yes, okay. Thank you, Feliciano Media Company. Appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome to the Still Knicks fans family. Hopefully you enjoy it here. Everybody's nice. It's a good group of people. Mellow don't equal winning. That may be true. Especially at this age and his game the way it is now. It's tougher for him to really affect winning that much. Yeah, I saw that. Rumors the Celtics want Mello. I know that would be horrible. I don't want to see it, but you can't stop. Listen, like if the Knicks can't get it done, and if Mello doesn't fit for us, then it is what it is, man. Wish him the best, and I hope he gets a ring somewhere. I'll tell you one thing. Having Mello back up Tatum is not a bad look, because if Tatum runs into another situation the way he was in this past playoffs, where his game wasn't rocking, and they were hitting him with different looks and he wasn't adjusting properly, having Mello come in, you can't throw anything at Mello that he hasn't seen before. Mello's still gonna give you his 10 to 12 points easy, with his mid-range stuff. The defensive end, that's another story. And if he's going good, he might be able to give you 20 or whatever, maybe, but yeah, like Melo's seen it all. Mello will not be shut down. Like Mello will find a way to give you 10, 12 points at his worst. And at his best, he may give you somewhere in the 20s off the bench. So that could help a team that's struggling, especially if Jason Tatum ran into some more of those issues. Not saying he would, but I just don't want to see Mello in the Celtics uniform. Just yuck. Angel Torres says, Ron, would you like to see Kuzma on a Knicks uniform? Look, maybe I'm in the minority. I've always thought Kuzma was a decent player, man. I always liked his game, especially when he was coming in throughout the summer league. He lit the world ablaze. I mean, he was a firecracker. I don't know if I like everything about him. He has a certain way about him. He's a very flashy type of player, even though he don't have that flashy type of game, but he's a flashy type of player. Like, he's got that mentality, that style. You see it in the way he carries himself, how he dresses. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a certain way that he is. I don't know if I love that about him, because I think that's your personality and it affects how you play on the court. I like bulldog type, personalities. Knicks don't really have a lot of that going on, but he can score. And, I just don't know, man, because he's been in pretty good situations. And I honestly think that he's going to be a big value to Washington this year. So I don't think he's going anywhere. Oh, Cam's 23. Okay. Yeah, even better. Let's see here. Kerry Cox says if Hartenstein hits his threes, Sims would replace Obi for defense and rebounds. That's a way to get Sims in there, yes. But I don't know if Hartenstein is going to hit a lot of threes, guys. He really is not a three-point shooter. Can he knock it down? Can he stretch the floor a little bit? Yeah, he can. He might be able to hit one. He doesn't take a lot of threes at all. When we looked at his numbers and how many he actually takes, he's not that guy. He just has the ability to do it. So you never know. I mean, who else? Well, Al Horford wasn't a three-point shooter either, and he turned into one. He takes a lot more than he ever did before. Earl Garris, appreciate you. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before, so if this is your first time, thank you for being here. Or if you've been rocking with the show, appreciate you for being back, man. Thank you for being here. Would you play Grimes, IQ, Cam, OB, and Hartenstein? Grimes, IQ, Cam, OB. Yeah, I would. Why not? I mean, I definitely could see that being a backup unit. I can't see that being a starting unit. But I don't. You know what? If this was a different Knicks team, who knows, man? Back in the day, Knicks had some wild Knicks teams. This would be way better than some of those teams we used to throw out there. I hate to say it because I don't want to seem like I'm always coming down on Clee Anthony early, but you guys know what time I'm talking about. It's the Clee Anthony early days. This team might wax that team for real. They would tear that team up. This team right here, Grimes, IQ, Cam, Obi, Hartenstein, they would destroy that team. Some people's just natural haters. I hear you, D Coolest. Let me see here. Mozilla, appreciate you. What's good? Last year didn't show Mello is a plus for a contending team, a regular team, sure. Yeah, that's the problem with Mello. At this point, like really, if I was Mello, it's throwing, it's like throwing dice. You're just hoping for a 7 or 11 or something, man. Go to whatever team you think has a good chance of winning the championship. If I'm Mello, I don't know. I'm trying to make it to Golden State, bro. It just is what it is. I'm trying to make it to Golden State and just get on the team. He's already had a really good career. No one will be mad at him if he hops around from team to team. He's not like he's getting a lot of offers to begin with. It is what it is, man. Just go to Golden State if you can make it there. If you can't make it to Golden State, try to get yourself over to Milwaukee. I don't want to see him in a Milwaukee uniform either, but it is what it is. Try to get yourself to Milwaukee, and at the very least, if there's no one that comes a calling, then maybe the Celtics. I don't know. I just think in fairness, at some point, just see if you can get yourself on a team that has a chance to win it all. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. He deserves better because you know what? Whatever you may or may not like about Mello, when he was a Knick, he did give his all. We didn't see him in the locker room punching, fire extinguishers and stuff. He was just playing ball. Just saying. Andy N says Mello knows he can't become a Celtic. Once a Knick, always a Knick. But signing with the Celtics erases that. Hey, man, you may be right. Let's see. Salute Neville Humphreys. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Facts about Tibbs. Oh, and 1 second. I'm coming back to that, Geraldine. And Neville, appreciate you, man. Thank you. And appreciate your patronage as well. Thank you for doing that. I wish they had another ways that we can highlight someone's patronage because it's separate through YouTube. Like I wish I could just make you a member somehow, but I don't know how to do that. I tried looking because I was trying to do that the other day, and they don't give you that option to do that, man, because you deserve to just have a free like membership for your patronage, but I don't know how to make it happen. So I apologize, but just let you know I'm thinking about it. And back to Geraldine, facts about Tibbs and Mello bringing him back will open up a whole lot of worms. I think that is true. There you go. See, that's the thing, Felicia Lee. You are correct. Kuzma is inconsistent. Saw enough of him on the Lakers. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been in good situations, and he hasn't capitalized. Like in the beginning, that first year, coming off of the summer league, Kuzma made some big shots and big baskets. He looked like he was going to be something special for the Lakers. But I don't know, over time, when other star players came to the Lakers, it changed, and then he wasn't really being used in the same fashion. Maybe that affected his game. Maybe he's the type of guy who needs to be a focal point of a team, so he gets that usage. Some guys need to be able to touch the ball a lot more, and it helps their game. It's not everybody, but some guys are like that. Maybe that's how he is. I don't know. Feliciano Media Company says, yeah, Kuz is an above average player, but inconsistent and eccentric, cheaper than Westbrook. True. That's true. Don't need a vet like Mello getting minutes over young players like Cam or Obi. Agreed. Eddie Marr says, this is my starting five: Brunson, RJ, Cam, Obi, Jericho. What you thinking? Who would be your starting five? I mean, this is an interesting starting five. I mean, it could be pretty exciting. I'll tell you one thing. This is definitely the starting five I throw out there. If the Knicks are not winning, if the Knicks look like they're having one of them seasons where it's not looking good, I'd definitely throw that starting lineup out there. I'd rather see how these guys play together. You know, they might be exciting in different ways. Maybe they don't stretch the floor a lot and not a lot of three-point shooting. Maybe some, but not a lot really, because they're not, it's not like that. But I would enjoy watching it. My starting five would probably be what most people are thinking. It would be Brunson, Grimes, RJ, Randall, and Mitch. Hartenstein made 20-something three-pointers last season. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're a three-point shooter. You're playing 70, maybe 70 games, say high 60s. When you average that out per game, that doesn't mean. I mean, that's good. A good sign that he can probably shoot them, but that's not a sign that says someone is a legit three-point shooter. That goes to the point that he has the ability to knock it down, but you wouldn't say that I'm just going to start featuring him as a three-point shooter. That's just not that's not how you do it. 20-something shots over 60 games, for example. What does that average out to you? You tell me. That's what I mean. Neville Humphreys says, a question for the chat. If Mello is so special, how come he cannot get a team to sign him at the late stage? And I think that part of the problem with Mello, it's not a knock. I mean, I guess maybe it is a knock on Mello. It's just Mello's willingness to be in a role that allows him to just come off the bench and basically be a role player. I don't know if Mello mentally is there. I don't know if he ever will be there. It's tough for a star in the league to have a point where now, and this is, I don't want to say superstar. I'm going to say star. I think Mello was always a star. I don't want to say superstar because I feel like a superstar, you impact winning in such a special way. And usually the superstars have a championship. You know what I mean? Usually. But I say he's a star. So it's very hard for a star, especially at his level, to become a role player and play that way. So I think it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Let me steal something from Eru. Die Hard has friends. Look, still Knicks fans has friends. I have a friend. Okay. Andy in the building. What's going on?
Salute, Ron. Salute to the chat. Happy to be on with you.
Hold on
Glad
one
I could
second.
make it.
Yeah, no. Thanks. Good to see you. Hold on one second. Let me see here. I think my headphones just went off. There we go. All right. So, yeah, man. Good show yesterday, by the way.
Thanks, bro. I tried to do my best, but as you see, I'm a novice at this. I'm an amateur still, not like you.
No, man, you're doing great. You're doing great. We just need to see more of it. I think the thing for you, and I understand you got a lot going on with your family and work. I just more consistency. The more times you get out there and do it, you realize it gets easier. You'll be more comfortable. It took me a while. Like I tried to watch. I have a couple. StreamYard allows you to save. Some of your recordings, and I have some of my first recordings. Whew, they were terrible. So I still go back and look at them. So it's good. It's good. It's good. Oh yeah, man. That's all you need. Just more repetition. You good. I mean, you talk like basically almost every other day about the Knicks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going to get into the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick was some key pieces on the Knicks. To me, maybe everybody has their own set of key pieces that they think are going to be important for the Knicks to be successful this season. And I already kind of outlined what I feel is success. I think for the Knicks this year, success means finding a culture, finding an identity, winning some games, maybe just having a winning record. Doesn't mean making the playoffs. Making the playoffs is another level of success, but I'm not looking at that. It's a very tough Eastern Conference. The NBA on the whole is tough. But if the Knicks can have a winning record, look like they have a direction in which they're playing out there, and some of these young players can play and start taking a step forward, that's a success to me. So for me, those pieces are Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, and some might say Cam Reddish. I'm not going to really put my stock in Cam. I think for me, I think those three are really important, and I think RJ is the fourth piece. I think RJ has to have a really good, efficient season for the Knicks to show success. And I'm not even talking about Julius. Julius can be exactly what Julius was last year, but if those guys do what they got to do, Knicks can have a successful season in spite of that. Now, if Julius plays well while he's here, I say while he's here because I keep thinking something's going to happen. Then you never know. What do you think about that, Andy?
Well, listen, for me, I think Julius can't have a season like last year. I think
Mm,
it's literally impossible. He can be worse than he was last season.
mm,
So I'm expecting, better numbers, better basketball play as far as, the mental aspect, the team aspect, and his all how he carries himself on the court. I'm expecting maybe not going back to the most improved player days, but
mhm,
I'm expecting way better Julius Randle than what we saw last season. And listen, and for me, I think the Knicks should look to get the chemistry going sooner rather than later. Having a new point guard in the on the team, it's like they say, from the transition from college to the NBA, and that's basically more variables changing. Brunson was in the NBA. He played great in the NBA. He's just coming to a new team. So I hope, it's not going to take us, 40 games to figure it out. I hope it's going to be like, 10, 15 games. I
mhm,
don't think we can afford, 30 games. Okay, this is going to be the rotation, and we're literally at half of the season, right? So I expect the Knicks, to figure it out because, I consider Brunson a really high IQ player,
mhm.
and I think that's going to be shown in the results of the team. I'm not expecting them to be top six. after the 82 games. But I think they should sneak into that play-in, 7th till 10th seed with good basketball play.
That makes sense. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, and I think that's a fair expectation of what you can expect from this Knicks team, because you guys we got to be realistic. It is what it is. Like it's going to be a tough season. There's going to be some. Knicks might have a nice little run. Maybe they win 3-4 games in a row. It'd be nice. I can't expect much more than that, because it's like I assume it to be tough. Now, there might be, on the flip side, there could be moments where the Knicks lose 5 or 6 in a row. Could happen. You just never know. Like, seasons are tough, and this one will definitely be. It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping that we get surprised and some of these young guys really play out of their minds. Like, for whatever reason, they work so hard in their games, and Tibbs believes in them earlier than he did last year. So they start to feel more comfortable. And I said, you'd be surprised, guys, when you get confidence as a person, how that makes you feel. You'd be surprised what you will do. So if they get that confidence, if they instill that, we'll see. Hey, what's going on? Riding with the Knicks in the building. Appreciate you, man. Salute. Great show the other day. I watched yours too, and I forgot to comment. I was at work, and I've been meaning, so I'm going to do that later when I have a moment. But thank you, man. Appreciate you. Guys, if you haven't checked out Riding with Knicks, definitely do, man. He's got a really good show. He's in the car on his long commutes to and from work, but he has a good time out there. And he's in Ohio holding the Knicks down, man. Show him some love, man. Salute, bro. Good to see you. So my thing is, someone said it before. Did I star it? I might have got rid of it. Yeah, because I try to clean up the stuff and not have too much going all over the place here. Salute to Rayology. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. Someone said that Quickly might have been the Knicks' best perimeter defender all season. I don't think you're wrong. I do not think you're wrong. I happen to look at the numbers. Shout out to D's World of Hoops, because D Poetic was the one who pulled that up and showed that to me. So I don't want to take credit for that. He loves looking at numbers. So I was quite surprised at Emmanuel Quickly's efficiency numbers. And so these were the 3 metrics. One, his efficiency as far as turning over the ball, passing, his assist to turnover ratio, extremely high, which some might say, well, he doesn't pass that much in these situations, doesn't take a lot of chances. Either way, his numbers were incredible. I thought that was surprising. 2, his defensive rating was one of the highest on the team, which I thought was shocking. Okay. That's 2. 3, I forgot what the stat is called, man, because my memory is rotten. But, there's a stat that shows, it's not like a plus or minus. It's something that shows like a person's efficiency with other members on the team, like how they do. And for whatever reason, Quickly had one of the top ratings as far as when he was playing with other guys, their ratio was better, how they played out there on the court compared to like other players. So Quickly, in a way, you could say that he possibly impacts winning. Now, the team may not be good enough because of other issues and things, how they carry things out to actually win the games. But when he's on the court, the Knicks play better. That's my point. That's what I was trying to get at. So, yeah, Quickly might be kind of surprising. I think you guys, I'm telling you, Quickly, I think Grimes is going to have a really good season, but I think Quickly is going to have the best season of any Knick this year. And that doesn't mean he's going to score the most points. I'm just saying when you look at his season, you're like, wow, Quickly had an incredible season for Quickly. I think that's what's going to happen. How do you feel about that, Andy? That's my hot take.
Yeah. Listen, Ron, you guys know that I'm not the biggest Quickly fan. And I only look from like the perspective, like on the court. If I would be playing with him, I wouldn't be his best friend on the team. Listen,
I know
I'm not gonna run around, play defense so he can bring up the ball and chuck a 3-pointer. So I'm not gonna be happy with that kind of a basketball. But listen, there's so many factors. He played with the bench guys, so he didn't have, a main guy that he had to revert to. We clearly saw that Tibbs must have been happy with his game because he kept him on the floor. Meanwhile, we saw sometimes, him, announcing a play and quickly just took a shot, but he still didn't yank him. Meanwhile, when Obi makes maybe not even 100% his mistake and it really results in a turnover, he gets yanked and goes straight to the end of the bench. So for me, I think Quickly has a little bit different standards as far as the coaching staff goes. Listen, for him, it's probably better. And this might be me talking from a perspective that I would run different offense, different tactics, different schemes, and I would build the team differently. And I actually I have no need for a player like Quickly. That's why maybe it's not my hate. It's like I could really build a team without him. I'm not saying that I'm just gonna release him, not waive him, nothing like that. Just he's not the the preferred player that I would love to use on this team.
That's fair. I can agree with you on that. Like the way he plays, his style of play is not necessarily controlled. It's a little all over the place.
Yeah, you can say it. You can say Ron. You can say annoying. You can say you can say some bad words and Quickly. Come on, man. It's your show.
Listen, you know what? I'm at a different place right now with Quickly. Because if you guys listen to me for many Knicks shows, I did not like Quickly, and I was not even giving him any credit at all of being a point guard. So I'm just taking it easy right now. I'm gonna give him a little credit for what he did. He works really hard. He looks like he's in fantastic shape. So I'm gonna say hopefully going forward. And I actually think that Jalen Brunson being here, we haven't had a true point guard. Some of these guys are kind of left up to their own devices. Yeah, there's someone teaching them, like Johnny Bryant, whatever he's doing with them, trying to show them good guard play. But I think the addition of Jalen Brunson here, it's got to help Quickly going forward. I think it will.
And Ron, like you said, I think the addition of he had D-Rose as the mentor, of the point guard, right? And D-Rose was also a scoring guard. That's why I think he reverts to that scoring type of being a guard. I think Brunson is gonna develop his floor general skills. More passing, more looking for teammates, and I hope that's going to be the case. But also, like you said, listen, I'm not a big Quickly fan, but I have to say that his defense was way better than it was his rookie season. Way better, and I was on him for that defense on his rookie season. So I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. His defense was way better. I'm not gonna say the numbers you guys brought up that he was one of the best defenders.
Hey, listen.
They say the numbers don't lie, right? But Fournier had the same defensive rating as RJ, and people knock Fournier. So we can do it both ways.
I see what you're going there. I see what you're trying to get at there. Look, it is what it is. In fairness, I know, but even those numbers, look, I don't want to get into it, Andy. I know how it is, but even those numbers a little funky because Fournier is playing against certain guys. RJ's hopefully, because we had nobody else, is taking on the best defender. I get it, but still, in the end,
yeah. But you could easily say that Fournier plays versus starters and Quickly plays versus bench guys, right?
True.
And some of these bench guys are a way of drop off than the starters, right? So, that's but fair. Yeah, this is, we could go for hours,
But I will say that when I looked at those numbers, those matchup numbers, and how Quickly affected other guys, I looked at everybody. Well, we were looking at everybody, should I say? And it was him playing not limited. He didn't play with them a lot, but even him playing with RJ, with Randall on the court, which was limited, but they still had better, like whatever the plus minus was when he was on the court with them. And he was, I think he was it was someone else too. It was Obi, but Obi was less. But Quickly, had the highest rating of playing with anybody where the Knicks were playing good basketball. I don't know how you look at that stuff. It's tough. Like I'm not a big numbers guy. Like you really got to be looking at that stuff deeply. But I'm just telling you what the numbers showed. But I hear you though. I hear you. You're right. You are correct. Most of the time it's with the bench against bench players. Very true. Salute to Ron Sarmiento in the building. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Hector Gaston is in the building. He says, I want one of the best defense in the league with Cam starting. Well, it's a trade-off. Like you it's give and take. You could get one of the better because listen, even with the Knicks issues, they still were one of the best defenses in the league at certain points throughout the season. And I'm saying like top 15, whatever it is, whatever they were at certain points.
Well, listen, they finished in defensive rating. They finished number 9.
There you
they
go.
Were tied for from 9 to 11. So you could say they were a top 10 defensive, team.
And that's
with
where you got
numbers from Kemba and from Fournier at the beginning of the season, which they really played, bad with that combination.
Right, and that's where you got to give credit to Tom Thibodeau. That's obviously, he's good at defense. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He just needs the right type of guys to do everything he wants to do out there. But yeah, it is. So it is what it is. Let me see here. Okay, that's all right, Cully. I started your question. I'm gonna come to it in a little bit. I just wanted to say, shout out to me and my Knicks. Appreciate you. Once again, I don't know if you've been here before. Thank you for tuning in. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. But if not, welcome to the Still Knicks fans family. Appreciate you. He said efficiency is trading Randall and Fournier. I know this is tough. I know and Andy's ready to come through the screen. But look, Andy, I think a lot of Knicks fans understand that Fournier, like I hope you were here what I was saying earlier. Fournier has value. It's just the way this Knicks team is made. I don't know if he fits with what they're trying to do out there. This Knicks team is all over the place. Another team, as I said before, I would hate to see it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm Milwaukee and I got my Chris Middleton back and my rest of my Milwaukee Bucks are going good, Giannis. If I'm Milwaukee, I call the Knicks and I say, listen, would you take this and this and this for Fournier? I put Fournier in that Milwaukee Bucks team. I think Milwaukee Bucks are winning the championship. Yeah, that's right. You heard me say it. I think that is enough with everybody they got currently and having a healthy Chris Middleton. I think you add Fournier who can knock down the three. I think that team wins the championship because that's the only thing that I saw that they were having a hard time being consistent at. Connaughton, for whatever he is, I don't even know if he's still with them, but if he is, he's just not consistent enough. And a real shocker was the kid from Duke that they got from Utah that's been with them for a while. I forget his name.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen was, oh man, I talk about a nightmare. He was a no-show, B. A no-show. So that's a situation where I say you can, his defense is fantastic. That helps, but he just was a no-show on offense. So many times Fournier would have been so much better for them, and he would have knocked down shots and kept them in games or extended leads for them. So just something like that. So you guys think about that, man. You put Fournier on that Milwaukee team, they are trouble. Just saying. But anyway. Yeah, Andy, you were gonna say something.
Okay. Listen, I could find way more teams than Milwaukee, just Milwaukee.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's tons of teams that gonna and listen. I think at the deadline, the Knicks are definitely gonna get phone calls about Fournier, definitely because other GMs they see what's gonna be the deal with the Knicks, and they know that Fournier is one of the oldest players. They know that we're gonna have bench guys hungry for minutes, so they might get him. Cheap meaning, a first round pick and a salary fill or something like that. I think Leon Rose might entertain that if he's going to see that Quentin Grimes, can play those couple of minutes more, maybe get a couple of minutes more from Cam in that position in the rotation. So I think he would be willing to trade Fournier if that would be the case, and he would be happy, with the comeback from that trade. And listen, I'm gonna be cool with it. If it makes the Knicks better, I'm cool with it. Even if it meant sending Fournier to the bench, and the record and the team was looking better, go ahead, make that move. But I don't know where Knicks fans come with. we should give Quentin Grimes the minutes of Fournier, or Cam Reddish, in the starting lineup instead of Fournier. I don't know how you had your young life, if you were getting something, maybe not something, but most of the things for free. I wasn't raised like that I get anything for free. I have to work
Mhm.
for it, and I don't think these guys are going to get anything for free, and not to mention minutes in the starting lineup. This is the NBA. I don't think anybody's getting not anything for free.
Mhm.
And I would understand Tibbs changing the rotation, the starting five, if it meant that the whole Knicks roster and the team played better.
Mhm.
Because sometimes certain lineups work way better than just the five best players. And I would be cool with that if the winning record saw we could see that with the winning record, and it was a result of that change. Go ahead, do it.
I hear you. I hear you. Um, I think personally, I think if Quentin Grimes comes into training camp and he's balling out and playing really well, doing what Tibbs asks of him, hitting the right shots, showing some consistency. I think if he goes into the preseason and he's knocking down things at a higher clip and really showing that he deserves to be out there, I honestly think that he should start. If he does that, I don't necessarily know if he's going to be able to do that in that amount of time. I think that it'll take a lot longer for him to get there. I do think that Tibbs is going to fall back on what he normally does, and I think he's going to be more comfortable with starting Fournier going out the gate. Um, that doesn't mean that I think Fournier will be in the starting lineup the whole time. I think maybe Grimes will at some point get better to the point where he gets to start. I don't know, but that's how I feel it's going to happen. But I do think that Tibbs is probably going to start Fournier early because he likes the consistency, and Fournier is an NBA player. He knows how to play. So I think that's what's going to happen.
And Ron, you know what I would add here, and it's going to sound really bad, but listen, if Evan Fournier got hurt, that would be a blessing in disguise for Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish to get minutes there in the
Right.
starting lineup. And if, for example, he gets hurt and we go on a winning streak, Tibbs might be, listen, Evan, you're a vet. I'm gonna get you off the bench, starting a little bit more minutes, and then we're gonna see if they pulled like a huge winning streak. I think he would stick with that lineup. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like you said from the beginning of the season, it's Fournier's job to lose. I don't think even a great training camp from Cam or Quentin is gonna get them that starting job.
Yeah, I don't think that would be enough either. That's why I said like I think that maybe if Quentin Grimes had a good training camp and then a good preseason, like I mean efficient preseason scoring wise, he would have to show there's a difference. I don't know if he's ready to show that yet because I mean it's not easy when you're an inefficient shooter or inefficient scorer. You have to really work on that to become better. I don't think Quentin Grimes is his second year. I don't know if he's had enough time to really be able to show that consistently yet, or even he'll get it enough of that. Like I think you need a few months, like maybe a half a year, to even get to the point where you feel comfortable knocking down shots more. Like you got to figure out ways. Plus, you got to, as an NBA player, you got to learn your spots. Like all we know of him is basically seeing him out on the perimeter shooting threes. He didn't have a lot of opportunities to drive and do things. He worked on that in the summer league. Maybe now the Knicks will start using him in those ways. He'll have a better chance to break down players, but he hasn't shown it yet. He's got to learn all of that and see what he can do. Like if Quentin Grimes takes 3 or 4 shots and they're not going in, you want him to take a medium range jumper or get to the basket. He's got to get all that going first, and he's not there yet. So we'll see. If he gets to that point, then maybe he might deserve it. Because right now I can't see it.
Yeah, and I'll add around that, people are expecting Grimes to, when he gets starting minutes, he's gonna, be averaging like 15, 17 points a game. Maybe, but I don't think he's gonna have the amount of touches to score that much. Listen, on the bench, he has like Quickly that's gonna take more shots probably. We don't know what's going to be the offense. Maybe Obi is going to have, a couple of shots, but he's going to have touches and opportunities to score off the bench. I don't think with Brunson, RJ, Julius, he's going to have that many shots left. So this might be a disservice for Quentin Grimes even. We're going to see how the offense is going to change with Brunson running the show, because I think if Tibbs, pulls out that dusty playbook from last season and try to use it with Brunson and just make him put the ball in the offensive end and run to the corner, I think I might be calling for Tibbs' name.
Interesting. All right. Salute to Nick Yak. Appreciate you. He says we're done with make-believe trades. Okay, I hear you. Salute to Knicks fans Brazil. Victor in the building. What's good? My guy Trav B in the building. What's going on? I don't know what this is in reference to, but
I think the teams for Fournier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. I think I don't know if he would like that. I like Golden State. It would be a fantastic situation for Fournier, but there's just too many players over there. I think he would want more minutes. But listen, yeah, actually, you know what? Oh, the other day we were talking about this, and it was my mistake. I goofed because I put up a trade proposal situation. We were talking about Fournier, and I looked at the regular season teams, which what I should have did is looked at the playoff teams. Well, I looked at the regular season teams that were playoff type teams that I thought might be able to use him. Well, I should have pulled up is the playoff numbers, because some of these teams struggle to hit the 3 in the playoffs. Of course, you expect that because it's tougher defense and all that. But Miami was one of those that I was like, I don't know if they could use Fournier. But then when I looked at how things shook out in the playoffs, they could use a guy like Fournier. The problem is they would want to get rid of Duncan Robinson. And if I'm the Knicks, I'm not touching Duncan Robinson. So I don't know if that works. Yeah, because that guy, he makes basically the same amount of money almost. And he was really doing nothing for them. So like Fournier was doing more for the Knicks than Duncan Robinson was doing for Miami. Keep that in mind, guys. The Nuggets are a team that I thought, yes, could be a good fit. And I did say I didn't bring up Brooklyn, but I agree that Brooklyn could be. Shh, don't say that, man. Shh. you don't want Fournier on Brooklyn, man, killing it over there. We don't need it. Just say it. I'm gonna put. Shh.
that will hurt my soul, Ron. That will hurt my soul.
Get out of here, man. Don't be saying that. Anyway, shout out to Daniel Rosario. Once again, Daniel, I don't know if you've been here before. If this is your first time, thank you for being here and rocking with us. Welcome to the Still Knicks Fans family. If not, then welcome back. Appreciate you. Oh, and give you guys a little bit of an update. Let me see. Where was I? Yes, look at that. All right, guys, a little bit of an update. That's good. We're on the road. We are on the road. And update that. We started off at 1950. We are now at 1960. We picked up 10 subscribers, man. I don't have applause, but you know what I mean? This is for y'all. Appreciate y'all. We on the road to 2,000. We 40 away. We getting there. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, man. Showing love, and I can't tell you how much I'm so thankful for all your support. There was one other guy. Yes. Okay. And Mel Bester 9. Appreciate you. Once again, hey, if this is I feel like I've seen your name before, but it might have been on Nothing But Nick. I'm not sure. But hey, if this is your first time here, thank you as well. Welcome to the Still Knicks Fans family. If not, thank you for being back. Appreciate you. And he says, I'm just glad that basketball is back. Yeah, man, I hear you. I'm with you on that. So to get to Cully's question, which is another topic of the show, it's real quick. It wasn't really a big topic. I was just throwing it out there because it's something to talk about. Are the Knicks really looking at Bogey from the Jazz? So here's the thing, guys. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but this is a business, right? But it's funky, right? After everything and yes, the answer is yes, the Knicks are really looking at Bogdanovich from the Jazz. Excuse me. And would he be a good pickup for the Knicks? Actually, yes. I mean, Bogdanovich is a good shooter, really good shooter. He has moments where he can be a little streaky, but for the most part, he's pretty consistent. And when he's hot, he's hot. Plus, you like his size. He's not a horrible defender. He can do some things. So he's not a bad look for the Knicks. But personally, I don't like Bogey with this current team. Like, if you bring in Bogey, I'd rather have Obi and Bogey. Like, I'd like to get rid of Julius. So you don't want to have Julius, Bogey, and Obi. Like, I don't know about that. But if it could just be Obi and Bogey, or even if you would have, you need two. Three of them is just too many. But I like Bogdanovich. How do you guys feel, and how do you feel about it, Andy, after this whole saga going through everything that happened with Utah and Donovan? How do you feel about the Knicks dealing with them for another one of their players after what they did with Donovan? Because this is the business aspect of it. It's kind of wild to think about, but this is life.
Yeah, well, as far as I see it, if Leon is going to be happy with the deal, I think he won't hold any grudges. He would do that deal. But, if they want a first round pick, I don't think, Leon's going to be happy with that deal. If it would be like dumping D-Rose, for example, the first 10 games, D-Rose gets injured and it's like, half of a season, he's going to be out. I would see, Leon trying to trade D-Rose as far as, he's going to end the career. He's not going to be coming back this season, probably never again. So we're just going to trade him and, help someone else out by, giving them an expiring contract. Meanwhile, getting a player that we can use. And on Bogdanovich as a player, listen, I was in Warsaw like 3 weeks ago watching the Croatia versus Poland game. Bogdanovich in real life is such a high IQ player. They run the offense through him, Ron. He threaded the needle so many times to Zubac, from the Clippers under the hoop. I was in shock. He literally didn't make any mistakes. He waited. He's a slower player. He's not going to be the fastest, and I'm not saying that he's going to be the point guard. But you can run the offense through that dude a little bit. And I think that you can do it through Fournier, but I saw it, on a live game, how he did it. And you could see that he could do it in higher levels. I'm not saying because the Poland national team isn't, the best team, that best defensive team, nothing. But you saw that he was, leaps and bounds way better, higher IQ than the rest of the guys around him. So I would be happy with Bogdanovich. And like you said, sometimes he's going to be a little bit streaky, but I think that's with most of the shooting guards in this league. That's why how they make their bread and butter, by making shots, but sometimes you're going to hit a cold patch and you're going to miss a couple. But I remember situations that, that team was down and he literally took the ball, ran 3-4 possessions and scored like 6-8 points straight, by himself. So as far as that goes, I think he's probably even an upgrade on Fournier, because if we're going to use Fournier just as a shooter, I'd rather have Bogdanovich. Maybe we're going to use him as a creator a little bit. That would be my answer. And listen, I think you would have to add Fournier because basically the salaries match. So if they want to trade, it would have to be a 1-for-1 or, trading D-Rose. And I don't know if the Jazz is going to be happy with just getting D-Rose, that you would have to attach a pick. And then I think Leon won't be happy because, he doesn't want to lose a pick. So, that would be the case. If you guys want to see a little bit more of Bogey, I encourage you guys, don't do a disservice to yourselves. Go to the Eurobasket games that Croatia played. They played 5 games in the group phase, and tomorrow they're playing a game versus I don't remember who, but they're playing in the quarterfinals. So it's going to be a great game, and I believe he's going to be playing the main guy on that Croatia team tomorrow. So it's an easy audition that you can guys notice and watch.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, personally, I've always liked Bogey's game. Like, it's just me. The guy, he when he's hot, like you don't know the level of hot the guy can. Like the guy can hit 11 threes. Like like he's crazy with it. So but something I was gonna say. What was it here? I just had this. First off, shout out to Boulevard 73. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Good to see you, bro. A la Wise in the building was good. Appreciate you. There we go. I found it. Geraldine McIver. So she says, Ron, tell me why Evan doesn't fit here. Okay. So there's two reasons, right? Now, and if he was good at either of these two reasons, then in my eyes, he fits. This is me. I don't know everybody else's feelings behind it. One reason is that he's not a really good defender. Okay. Now, there's, in fairness, well, let me give you the second reason too. The second reason is he's limited offensively, right? So he could be either one of those as long as he's already, he's a really good outside shooter. Great. But if he has either one of those other two, then he can fit, but he doesn't. So, for example, if the way I would like to use it as an example is Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock can fit on any team. He's a 3-and-D player, but he's limited offensively. All he can do is shoot the three from outside, right? And then he plays really good defense, but he has those two. You take away Reggie Bullock's defense, he doesn't fit a lot of teams in the NBA, and he won't get used a lot at all. He could be, someone you could put in to spell minutes, but if he can't play the defense, he's not as valuable because we know he doesn't really score. Dude barely takes a layup or makes a layup, right? We've seen him on fast breaks before. So that's that situation. And that's why I'm saying in Fournier's situation, because the Knicks are not they're a good defensive team, but they don't have a lot of individual good defensive players. He can look like he's on an island out there. And some might say, I want you guys to be realistic about it. RJ is in the same token right now. This past season wasn't great for RJ. So, and that's part of the reason why. Well, I'm going to get to something else because I just said that. I just made me think of something. That's the reason why I think he doesn't fit, Geraldine. It's tough to say a guy who hit 200+ threes, broke the Knick record, had the best made percentage of players shooting threes in the second half of the season doesn't fit on a team. But for this Knick team, those are the reasons. Now, on the flip side, he doesn't even have to be. He could be a horrible defender. But if Evan Fournier had an all-around offensive game, there's a lot of guys like that in the NBA. He would fit because he's one of those you can't stop. Like he could shoot from the outside, he could shoot from the inside. He'd be unstoppable. There's a unique niche for these guys. You could say Donovan Mitchell is that. You know what I mean? There's guys like that, but he doesn't have that. That's why I think he doesn't fit. That's my opinion. I don't know, Andy. How do you feel? You might feel. I know you feel differently, but I don't know your reasoning behind it. But I'm just saying, as the way this Knick team is constructed, I don't know if he fits.
I'm gonna pretend, Ron, I didn't hear. My headset was broken, something like that. Listen, Ron, with the defense, I'm gonna say this. I saw Evan Fournier play in the NBA for a couple of seasons. I never expected him to be a lockdown defender because I saw his game, and I knew that he's not the best defender. Is Reggie Bullock better? Maybe, as in the type of defense that Reggie Bullock plays, which is locking up one guy, like 1-versus-1. Evan Fournier is more of a team defender. You see him cutting the passing lanes, which Reggie Bullock never did. RJ Barrett, also is a better one-on-one defender, but he doesn't cut many passing lanes. Evan Fournier had a higher steal per game number than RJ Barrett did this season. And that proves you, because if you guys want to say RJ Barrett is a way better defender, cool. But he doesn't have that many steals, which means that Fournier reads the game a little bit better and cuts the passing lanes. That's why I think, the defense thing, maybe it's not questionable. He can be a worse defender, but he's just a different defender. If Tibbs does the team defense scheme, certain ways, he might maybe even look way better. On the offensive end, I can't agree with you as well. Listen, we use him as a shooter. If you watch games, how he played in Orlando with Vucevic, he was a pick and roll player. He could, and I'm not saying that his handle is like tight, like best point guards in the league, nothing like that. But he could easily run a pick and roll from the side, from the top, from the 45 angle degree. He could do that, and he did it, for several years that he was in the NBA. So it's not only the proof is not going to be only with Rudy Gobert and Team France, but for me, we're just using him as a shooter. Meanwhile, he has more offensive game that he's shown with the Knicks. Then with the Knicks, he broke the 3-point record, but we saw him sometimes when he didn't feel the shot is going down. He penetrated. He made a layup, maybe one, maybe twice a game. He could do that more often. But when you have Mitch and Julius down there, why are you gonna, run into the paint where the trees are big, right? So it's something bad. We saw him, make a dribble or two and pull up from the mid range. Question is if he, when he was on the Magic, he was basically the second option, right? Because only after Vucevic, probably. I don't think Aaron Gordon was the second option on that team. Aaron Gordon is just a player that whenever he gets an opportunity, he's going to score, but he's not one of those guys that's going to call for the ball and he's going to, orchestrate the offense. So for me, Fournier isn't, that bad offensively. He has more skill set offensively than we saw him play on the Knicks. And we saw that when he was on the, I think his stint with the Celtics made him look like a shooter. Because when fans look at the Celtics, they had way more offensive power as far as Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, even Marcus Smart ran the offense, right? So he was used as a shooter. And I think, he has more of an offensive game than just shooting. Question is, if Tibbs is going to use him more, because if he's just going to use him as a shooter, then we can, cut the $10 million and resign Reggie Bullock for half of the price, right? If you're not going to use him, question is maybe sometimes late in the game, he can create off the dribble and take that shot for to win the game. And because with getting hot, I'm not going to argue that getting hot, like you said, Bogdanovic can make 10 threes, right? Most of the shooting guards in the NBA can catch fire and make 7-8 shots in a row. So I'm not going to say that it's only Fournier and that he can do it, because it's most of the guys in the NBA. Just for me, from my feeling, I think the Knicks didn't use Fournier to his maximum potential. Did we need to use him? It's not my vote that counts in the coaching staff, and not for me to judge.
I hear you. Well, I understand where you're coming from, Andy, and I want to be fair with it, but I don't know if I agree. However, even though I say I don't agree now, because to me, Fournier has regressed a little bit maybe not a little bit, if I'm being fair. I think he's regressed a lot in his overall offensive game. Does he do more of it, especially when he's playing, in Europe? Yes. But I remember Fournier differently when he came in the league. To me, Fournier was a monster. I thought, maybe he wasn't a superstar, but like I'm saying, like the way his overall game was, Fournier was dunking on people. Fournier was a problem. I think over time, obviously with age, your hops aren't the same. It goes down a little bit, all that stuff. I just think that he doesn't feel, and it could be, here's the real thing. It could be that because he's such an NBA 3-point shooter now, his game has changed and how he's being used by teams, especially the Celtics and now the Knicks. He doesn't feel as confident in his own other parts of the game, because when he does it, he looks hesitant. Like I don't make a big deal about that. To me, I look at other things. Like the other day, they made a little bit of a meme out of him missing that layup in the European basketball tournament, whatever, where he missed that layup and hit off the backboard or whatever. It looked bad. But to me, I'm looking at it more of him being unsure about what he's doing as he's getting close to the rim. Maybe he had another idea in mind, but it just seems like he's maybe overthinking it. Because anytime Fournier's been on and he missed a couple of layups with the Knicks on fast breaks too. I feel like he's thinking too much, or something's going on where there's a confidence level there that in the past he would have no issue. He would just go up and dunk it. But maybe because he's a little more below the rim, not as above the rim as he was, he doesn't necessarily know what he wants to do. And like he loses it at that moment. That to me is why I say that his overall basketball game is not the same offensive game. But I know he had the ability, should I say. I've seen it. That's why, I mean, you look at Evan Fournier highlights, especially the early Denver, Orlando. Fournier was a problem. So I just think it's something that's kind of happened over time with his confidence, which is the same thing I look at. To me, it's a weird thing. It's like a mental block. You guys know how good Fournier was as a three-point shooter last year, especially in the second half of the season. But look at his free throw shooting numbers. You would never expect Evan Fournier to miss that many free throws the way he hits threes. But for whatever reason, when he gets to the free throw line, I don't know if because it's a free throw and it's quiet, not quiet, but like it's still, he's not moving. I don't know what it is. Andy, I'm right about that. The dude should be hitting a higher clip of free throws.
Yeah, and Ron, I totally agree with you with the confidence thing. And we saw it from the beginning of the season because Fournier was starting the games, but he never was finishing them, right? And Knicks fans were because he's not playing defense, that's why he's not finishing. And meanwhile, he even said it in an interview that, all your scoring numbers are a little bit lower. And he said, listen, I basically played late in the games where I scored my points. And I think for him, it was definitely a change of a situation that he wasn't used to. That's why I agree with you totally with the confidence thing. I think he was looking at Tibbs and maybe like, okay, if I'm not going to be hot in the third quarter after I come out after the halftime, I might not see minutes in the fourth quarter. And I think that, like you said, he might, even though he's one of the vets on the team and stuff like that, he saw that he's gonna be sitting on the bench and watching the fourth quarter, the crunch time from the bench instead of playing on the court. That's why he was like, maybe overthinking it, like you're saying. And I'm not defending him because that's a thing that he should work out with the coaching staff and stuff like that. But listen, it's like people are asking, for minutes for Cam and for Grimes, which, I think proven less than Fournier in this league. Then, I think easily, fans could ask for Fournier to play, crunch time minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's only for the offense, because he plays, he can take a buzzer beater. And I think I would take, his shot from last year's roster. I think I would rather see him taking that shot than anyone else. Anyone, RJ, Julius, whoever else. I'd be more confident with his shot than anyone else's. Maybe D-Rose, if he would be like fully healthy and he would have to create off the dribble. I'd rather see D-Rose like try to make a move and pull up from around the free throw area. Maybe D-Rose would be in that kind of a situation. But if D-Rose was the D-Rose with one leg or whatever, I'd rather see Fournier.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that, Andy. So I do think that in certain situations, surprisingly, Fournier would be our better option, taking some last shots in certain situations, especially like if you're in a late game situation, you need a big shot. As long as he's square and it's within rhythm, I would definitely be more inclined to give the ball up to Fournier. Even use like RJ or we'll see now that they have Jalen how this whole thing will play out. But even use RJ or Julius as a decoy. Like maybe get a double team going to them and make the play really for Fournier. I wouldn't be mad at that because I think Fournier, Fournier can knock it down, especially in rhythm. And when he's how he moves out there in the court is a different thing. When he's stationary, I think it's sometimes a little iffy, and maybe that's why he has issues at the line. But I'm not saying all the time. I'm just, for whatever reason, that's just a weird thing.
And Ron, let me add to that. Listen, if I had 5 guys on the court for that, to run that last play, I rather the worst shooter take an open shot than the best one take a contested jumper. As far as I would, I remember when Pablo Prigioni was on the team, And there was a situation where Carmelo was taking, a contested fall away jumper with 3 guys on him, and Pablo was like standing on the side, like 12 feet apart, and he had a clear-cut look at the hoop, and I was like, why didn't you pass? I understand this is Carmelo Anthony, a clutch player and stuff like that, but I wouldn't be mad at Carmelo to pass the ball to the open guy that also was experienced and was making shots that season. It's not like he was shooting like 15% from 3. He was making those shots. So I would be cool with Mello passing the ball, and for me, even the worst, like I said, probably the worst. I'm not going to pass the ball to Mitch Robinson to take to save us from the 3-point line. But if he would be open, under the hoop, and I'm just going to chuck a 3 because, whatever, I rather pass it to Mitch under the hoop and even tie the game instead of win it, right? So, every time for me, the best shot, should come from the offense, not just the forced shot.
So I could agree with that. And shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all are killing it. Appreciate y'all. The road to 2,000 subscribers. It's getting updated. We're at 1964 and counting, folks. The number's going up, man. We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank y'all. Appreciate the love and support. Shout out to Jarvis LaFleur. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. True Equality. I think you may be new to the chat. Thank you for being here, and welcome to, Still Knicks fans. You're part of the family. Thank you for the support. Same for you. Bless Roberts. Appreciate you, man. He said, sorry, guys. Fournier does not fit only because of his coach. Most of the team doesn't fit. Tibbs does not know how to get players to play to their strong suits. I'm going to agree with you somewhat because I have an opinion about that I've voiced in the past. But thank you for being here, Bless Roberts. Appreciate you. I feel like I've seen your name before, but, maybe I'm wrong. But thank you. If this is your first time, welcome to the Still Knicks fans family. If not, thank you for being back. I've said before that I think Tibbs knows how to get the best out of star players. I think Tibbs, to me, struggles when he has to get the best out of other players that are just not like an automatic, like this guy got it. You know what I mean? Like Derrick Rose had it. Karl Anthony Towns has it. Jimmy Butler had it. Julius Randle, most improved player. One thing we know about Julius Randle, like say what you will about his game, he's 20, 10, and 5. Like he's got it. That's something. RJ Barrett hasn't shown everything that he can do. We've seen some of his weaknesses, but there's something about RJ. He's a 3rd pick in the draft. He's a Duke. He's got something. Tibbs can find that. It's easy. To me, it's a little harder when you have to find something out of a Quentin Grimes, or if you have to pull something out of a Cam Reddish who has it but doesn't easily display it. Like this is when I think Tibbs struggles. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong off base. Maybe Tibbs does know how to find it out of these guys. But that's what I see. So, like I said, I agree with you to an extent. I think he does know how to pull it out of star players. I think he knows how to make them show their strengths. Those guys.
And Ron, I think it's not only for Tibbs. It goes for every coach because it's you try to run your offense through the best players and build the team, the concept around those guys. You're not going to be starting to build an offense around Quentin Grimes when you have RJ, Brunson, and Julius Randle, right? You can run a play, but he's not going to be the main guy on the offensive as far as the concept of the whole offense to build around the weakest player maybe on the team. But and it might look different on other teams, for example on Miami, right, where Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson score. Those are situational scorers. They make that hoop. We don't watch the Heat every 82 games. We just see the highlight when he made the shot. He probably, the offense wasn't ran for him the whole game. He just made the shot. That's why we see it. They don't show, in highlights how many times he missed it. So I think it's you got to build around the best player on the court, try to add and stuff like that. If you know your players and your roster, that, sometimes there are players that you just let them in, run 2-3 plays for them. When they make the shots, you keep them in the game. When they don't, they basically useless the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know something about it because I play with guys like that. My coach started one. He took 2 threes. If he missed them both, he was benched till the end of the game. The next guy came up again, 2 threes. If he missed, he was benched till the end of the game, and he didn't even look at them till the next game. So, and listen, sometimes that worked, because if they made those 2 shots, we were up like by 20 in the first quarter. So it was, you know, that was the whole game plan. And I think, you know, the shooters like Kyle Korver and the rest of the shooters, they work like that. They run on the court back and forth till the play gets called for them. If they make a shot, cool. If they don't make it, they don't run the play like 3-4 times if they're missing, right? So it's not only for Tibbs, it's for the rest of the, you know, coaches. It's just a league like that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I hear you on that. That makes sense. That's a true statement. Like that to me makes things really interesting and difficult for this Knicks team. This is stuff that you're gonna have to deal with going forward, and we hope they get it right. Because I mean, really, we don't want to have this Knicks team in flux again with another head coach. We want them to get it right with Tibbs. We need them to get it right with Tibbs. So I'm just hoping that Tibbs acquiesces and figures out what he needs to do to be a better coach to help this particular Knicks team get to a better level. Because if not, then we got to take another chance with Johnny Bryant or Rick Brunson, because they're not going to find somebody to bring in mid-season. You're going to have to play it out with what you got, and then go into the next season with another coach that might have different ideas, a different system. It may be better for the Knicks in the long run, but oh man, just so all over the place. Just not something you want to continue to see this Knicks team deal with. Like it sounds easy, but there's so much stuff you got to put in place. The Knicks may become better on offense with a new coach, but they may be worse on defense. Like there's all these things. Oh man, it just sucks. Sucks. Shout out to Lewis Hedges, man. Appreciate you. He had a question. He said, suppose they trade Julius Randle and Topping is not the player. Doesn't play and is not the player we thought he was. That would be horrible. This is true. That would be horrible. But, you know, in some instances, I'm being fair to Julius Randle. I want to give him the best shot to be on this Knicks team going forward. But in another way, I also see that maybe it just makes more sense for them to move on from Julius, because they've got a lot of young talent here and they don't really have a direction yet. So maybe you establish a direction by kind of it's not clean slate, but just moving in a different direction. Like, okay, from this point on, we're going to let Julius go. We're going to go with this group of guys and we're going to build from there, get these guys better, and then we'll add some pieces and hopefully we become a really good team. You just have to make a decision. You know, pick a direction and we'll see where it goes from there. You know, make a decision on how you want to play. Shout out to BTS Dance Studio. He said, get THT. Well, you know, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Paris Douglas said, I want Mitch Robinson from 3. I never seen him miss a 3. Yeah, he's 1,000%. He's not missed. Trav B. Ryan said the whole team individually on defensive end was trash. We are just really good at team defense. That's very true. You know, trash may be, you know, a little tough, but yeah, individually, as far as individual defense, we're not the greatest individually, but there's some guys at their position that play pretty good defense. Like, say what you will about Julius Randle, but Julius Randle versus other power forwards, it's a really good defender against those guys. So against power forwards and centers, he's not too bad.
Listen, one-on-one, he ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, Julius's problem is that he doesn't know when to, you know, he's not a great help defender.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that hurts also the team, because if Mitch loses his man, nobody's gonna help him, and that was Julius's role. So that's why Mitch probably, you know, also was hesitant to help out certain guys, because he know that his guy is gonna score on him. So, you know, sometimes the principles were set. I don't think the players were like 100%, you know, on that, you know, roles that they should be. But, you know, I'm guessing Tibbs tried to, you know, talk with them after, at how do you call it, in the video rooms and stuff like that. But did they listen? We're not, gonna never know that probably.
That's very true. That is very true. So that's one of them things that, it's something we are probably never going to see this Knick team be that good individually defending guys, but as a team they could become good team defenders. Shout out to Chris, Chris Dada. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. You might be another new person that I haven't seen in the chat. So if this is your first time, welcome to the Still Knick Fans family. And if not, then welcome back. But thank you for being here. He said Jimmy Butler didn't have it in the beginning. He helped cultivate it. Agreed. But he had the skills to do it. Like he had the ability to play really good defense, the ability to score. Because Jimmy Butler is a good scorer. He may not be the greatest shooter, but he's a good scorer. And he's a really good free throw shooter, which shout out to him, man. He knocks him down. Salute to Thomas Lewis. You are onto something. Basketball is a true team sport. Very true. And thank you for being here, Thomas Lewis. Once again, I don't know if you're new to the chat or new to Still Knick fans, but appreciate you being here and subscribing. Welcome to the Still Knick fans family. And if you've been here before, thank you for returning. So a couple more things I wanted to say before we get out of here. Almost hitting on that 3-hour mark. But once again, salute to you guys. Thank you all for rocking with us. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We keep it pushing. We keep it pushing, man. Thank you guys. And we are currently, I'm not going to update, every single second, but, being that I brought it up, I might as well. Most current update. We're at 1966. That was a great year for vodka. I don't know what it was. I'm just saying that. Yeah, man. 1966 and counting, guys. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all. So what I wanted to do is highlight my guy, man. Unfortunately, I was going to put something together special for him, but I couldn't find the look that I was going to get. And rather than put something that I don't want to do, maybe I'll do it for Monday's show if I can find the right look. But shout out to my guy, Walt Clyde Frazier. Okay, he's the 2022 Kurt Gowdy Electronic Media Award recipient. Appreciate him. He's, also being inducted into the Hall of Fame, whatever, as a player and as a broadcaster. So, shout out to him, man.
The first one to get, twice into the Hall of Fame. So
facts, man. Facts. Shout out to Walt Clyde, man, doing the damn thing, man. It's just,
and Ron, listen, on this topic, he said in an interview that he plans to do it till he's 80, which means that it's the next 3 seasons. Whoa. So I'm already counting the days down, because I can't imagine myself watching Knicks games and not hearing Clyde's anecdotes and stuff like that. It's going to be a hard transition. And listen, it's not like he's irreplaceable, whatever, but it's going to be hard to replace Clyde. Mike Breen better be paid huge dollars for him not to leave the Knicks announcing table, because that's going to be that's going to be something really bad for Knicks fans. Losing both of those guys would be, I don't even want to, it's shaking me. I don't even want to think about it. So
yeah, I don't know, man. Shout out to Walt Clyde Frazier, man. We appreciate this guy so much. It's like certain staples, being here, and we've been blessed. We've been very fortunate, to always have certain people around this Knick organization that we love, and they make the game more enjoyable for us. Like Mike Breen, Walt Clyde Frazier. For me personally, it's also Wally Szczerbiak, who I just think it's so weird, because I never thought that I'd love hearing Wally Szczerbiak talk about the Knicks, but like Wally Szczerbiak and Alan Hahn, and now the addition of Monica, which is a great addition. Bill Pito, definitely. Like these names, these guys, I don't know how I could think about the Knicks not having these people around. Like, that's weird. And then Walt Clyde, man, 3 years comes fast and furious, man. 3 more years. Whew, that's gonna be tough. That'd
Yeah.
be tough.
Yeah. And Ron, you know what I wanted to say about Clyde's announcing? Because sometimes we have to watch a game with the other announcers, and what I noticed that is most of the other announcing teams, and I'm not saying TNT or ABC or whatever, those mainstream media, I'm saying, like, for example, the Timberwolves, or the Jazz commentators, right? They are really siding with their team. There can be like an out of bound play. They're always going to say, no matter how clear cut the ball went off their player, they're going to say, oh, this should be the Jazz ball, whatever. And
Right.
Clyde is like, listen, he did all full trick. The ball is going to go to that team. He doesn't care. He's like, I think James Dolan wouldn't say a bad word to Clyde. Clyde is such an icon. He's going to say, bad things when he sees bad things. He's going to call out bad defensive, plays and stuff like that, calls. He can't do nothing wrong as far as I see. So and listen, for his age, that he remembers all these guys on the team, and he doesn't like mistake their names and stuff like that. And that's awesome for me.
I agree, man. 100%, man. We love Walt Clyde Frazier, man. And let me tell you, I lose it. Maybe it's my own little internal thing, but when guys get caught like on the sidelines with their foot on the back foot, and they and he's like, the court is 18 or 19 foot, whatever it is. When he says that, I die laughing.
Yeah,
I know
94 feet long, not long enough.
I love that, man. Yeah, man. That's just the basketball purist, man. We got a special one. One of the things that I do love is that when the Knicks have had these type of people around, you gotta love it. And as shout out to the Mets. For the Mets, just throwing that out there. I'm sure the Yankees have their own people too. For the Mets, it's like Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, and everybody knows the names if you're a Met fan. Like, so it's the same. Gary Cohen. Like, these names are like, it's incredible. Like, we've been really fortunate in New York sports to have certain names broadcasting or doing shows that cover the Knicks. We've been fortunate. I will say that. Shout out to, let's see, Mets, Knicks fans. Let's go. Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you are having a great time tuning into the show. Welcome here. I think you are new to the show as well. So welcome to the Still Knicks fans family. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Appreciate you. Also, I see there's definitely a new person, Danny Becker Basketball. Great show, new subscriber. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Still Knicks fans family. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Let's see here. I had someone else I was starring, and I see Jay Boogie's in the building. Okay, Jay Boogie. Wesley Robinson. He said, oh, and thank you for being. He said, I'm checking in from Strong Island, New York. The Rakim, Public Enemy, EPMD, De La Soul, Keith Burry, Granddaddy, IU, Freddie Fox, K Solo, JVC, Force Leaders of the New School, Craig Mack, Prodigy, Biz Rock, Marciano in the building. And I've seen this before, so I know you're not new. But thank you for rocking, man. Wesley, appreciate you, bro. And shout out to Jay Boogie. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says, shout out to the chat panel. Blessings, health, and safety. Happy Saturday. Everybody take a break for a second. It's time. College and NFL. I'm scared of Buffalo. Salute, salute, salute with the 3 capital S's. Yes, sir. Thank you, Jay Boogie, for the generous super chat. Thank you for being here, man. I'm ready for tomorrow, man. We need football, man. We need football. Football, and then the basketball season right around the corner. It's my favorite time of the year. And baseball still rocking. If your team is in it, nothing better. So yeah, man, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. But once again, shout out to the legend Walt Clyde Frazier. Thank you for everything you are, everything you have been to us as Knicks fans. Can't say enough about him. It would be an honor if sometime within the next 3 years I'm able to get Clyde to get on Still Knicks fans and we could talk to him. I don't think it can happen. It's very hard to reach Clyde, but if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm telling you, I'm working. Anyway, thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. Let me see, right before we get up out of here, I might have a new update. Got a little update total. Why not? Yes, that's right. 3 more. We at 1969, folks. Only 31 away from 2000. We getting there. We getting there. It's building. I feel like I'm on one of them old Jerry Lewis telethons. Yeah, and every bit can help. If you too can help, donate as much as you can, man, from the comfort of your own home. But thank you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. Let me stop sharing that. Nick Jr., appreciate you. Salute. Thank you for being here. So, Andy, before we get out of here, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on and rocking with me, man. I appreciate you. I know it's busy. I know you're there with your kids. You got stuff going on. You've been traveling a lot lately. You definitely been international Andy for real, bro. What's been going on, man? You've been all over the place.
Yeah, listen, you know that nicknames are given, not I didn't give the international to myself, so you guys did it.
Yo, but I think listen, right now you're earning it, man. You're earning it.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
It sticks, I'm not going to be upset. Even if it was like something bad, I would stick with it. So
no, but you definitely earning it, bro. You're international Andy for real right now, and good for you, man. But I hope throughout this whole time you've had a chance to really rest and relax, because I have seen you moving about the place. So I hope it's been fun for you.
Yeah, listen, the last week I was in the hospital with my son, but that's
that part wasn't fun. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, that part wasn't fun because I was sleeping on the floor. That's a whole long story. But I had chances to watch all the episodes live that you guys made, so I was watching, maybe not live, but I definitely rewatched them, and I watched so many Eurobasket games. I was so happy.
Oh, okay, good.
Even sitting there, and it all came out, good with the test. So that was cool.
Great. I'm glad little man is okay and doing better. Great. That's good. Yeah, man. Weird things happen. Yeah, it's scary stuff having kids. All types of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. Appreciate you guys. Helping us. Reach our next goal. Like, we're getting close. I'm going to switch this one out. I'm getting a little neurotic with it, but only because I like the number, and it's a whole new number we got, guys. We're going. This is right. That's right. This is still Knicks Fans Telethon, right? Your vote counts. 1970. We there, folks. 30 away. Let's go. I don't have applause. Damn it. Next week, maybe I can I got to get a sound bar or something. I got to get something. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Appreciate y'all for being here. Jay Boogie, once again, thank you, man. I'm mad that you came in now. I would have loved to get you on and chop it up with you, man. But appreciate you as always, brother. And thank you to everybody tuning in. Oh, wait, what did you say there, Nick? Nick Yax has spent Christmas in the hospital with my son 1 year. It sucks. Oh man, I can't even imagine that. That is horrible, bro. But hopefully your son is doing much better, and you never have to deal with that again, man. So shout out to you, bro. But that's what I'm talking about. Wait, you got to be there for your kids, man. Well, we got no choice. We better be there for our kids.
Yeah.
I don't know about today's parents. They're a little loose out here in these streets. They're like, oh, what? My kid's in the hospital? Oh, well, tell them. Oh, I said hello.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can come back. I can come by the hospital after the stream.
right. Yeah. This day and age is kind of wild out here, man. So yeah, man. But thank you guys. Thank you, Paris Doug. Appreciate the generous super chat. He said, great show, Ron, Andy. Hey, guys, leave Grimes alone. I'm a big Obi and quickly guy, Lil Fournier and Sims. Yeah, I know, man. I know. All right. Listen, I think he'll be okay. He'll be all right. I think these Knicks are going to – oh, that's what I was going to say before we get out of here. I think these Knicks are going to surprise you guys, man. I think these Knicks are going to surprise you. Not saying that they're going to do something crazy and go like into the playoffs and go deep or something like that. I'm just saying throughout the season – I think at some point there's going to be some good basketball played by some of these young guys with the help of Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is going to help out a lot. And that was the point that I almost forgot to say before we got out of here, Andy, which you may or may not like. But I do think, because of the fact that you keep bringing up that RJ and Fournier's defensive rating was the same, maybe it's different competition, whatever. But to me, I think that's not a good thing for either one of them, and definitely not for RJ. I think that having Grimes out there benefits RJ. I think Grimes can make up for some of RJ's defensive lapses. At least his focus can be a little bit more on doing other things to help benefit the team, because Grimes will help in that area. I think that would be big for him. That's another reason why I'm pushing for that starting lineup. Not because Fournier doesn't deserve to be out there. I just think that Grimes would help RJ out a lot, and because I think one of the things that I saw that I think the Knicks made a mistake last year is they thought RJ was taking that next step in the defense, and they tried to big him up that way, which is nothing wrong with, helping somebody's confidence, but they wanted to put him on the best player, and really he's not that type of defender, at least not yet. I don't know if he ever will be, but it set him up a little bit to be that guy, and he's not a lockdown guy like that individually. He could probably play good team defense, but individually he's got some work to do. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know. Look, Andy's like, oh, I want to say something.
I'm going to bite my tongue now.
Well,
no,
anyway.
Ron, but just to wrap it up, if I could add two things. One thing, go to NBK, watch my last show. Hit them likes, make them numbers grow. So Sim is going to be happy about that. I'm going to be happy about that. I'm going to see, that I'm doing something good. So that would be one thing. The second thing, listen, guys, in exactly 40 minutes, the quarterfinals of the Eurobasket game between Spain and Lithuania with Rokas Jokubaitis is going to be, streamed online. I'm going to try to put out the stream on my Twitter account at BlackerAndy. So, if you want to, watch some good basketball and, have a sweet peek on Rokas, I think it's going to be a fun game.
All right. I like it. Yeah, I definitely, I'm going to see if I can tune into that, because I'm trying to, because I want to see Rokas. I haven't seen him play in quite some time. And the last highlight that I saw was one of those games where he really didn't show up too much in that particular game. So I'm not going to, that's not my Rokas barometer.
Listen, but it's going to be plenty of Knicks accents, because, Spain has Willy Hernangomez. The Lithuania team has Rokas. They have Iggy Brasdeikis, who is playing a huge role for that team. Because Minskis is on the bench, and I think one more player was on Lithuania that was even on the Knicks. So it's a huge.
Oh, is that Minskis Kumingas or whatever?
Mindaugas Kuzminskas.
Kumingas. Yeah. I remember him.
So
I liked him.
He looks exactly the same as he left the Knicks, bro. The same haircut, everything the same. I wouldn't. They froze him up in Lithuania, and they just woke him up for the Eurobasket.
Jeez, man. Okay, all right. Guys, definitely before you go, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that like button. I see we got 105 here. We had like 150 at one point. I probably should have said it then. But thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. We're at 104 likes. So good job, guys. But yeah, hit that like button if you can, if you haven't already. Thank you guys once again. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1970 right now and counting. Hopefully we get there in the near future. I thank you guys for all of your love and support. This is once again another great show. Thank you to Andy for joining me. And I appreciate you made this last hour go by nice. I like it. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And yeah, shout out to the chat once again. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoy the content going forward. It is what it is right now. You guys know that for every Knick content creator, it's a dry moment. We're in between times. As once we get into training camp and get into the preseason, everything's going to ratchet up. We're going to get into Still Knick Fans Season 3. Hopefully that means some new stuff that we're going to be unveiling for you guys going forward, just to make the shows better. So I think hopefully things are looking up, and it should be a fun time, man. But and shout out to you guys for tomorrow. First official day of football Sunday. First official football Sunday. We know the season started on Thursday, but tomorrow is official. So man, enjoy your rest of your Saturdays. Enjoy whatever you guys got going on, and shout out to football being back tomorrow. Quiet Money in the building. A little late, but never not noticed, bro. I always notice you, Quiet Money. Appreciate you, man. Watch the replay. I don't know if you got 3 hours to spare, but listen to some of it at least. Thank you guys, man. As always, appreciate y'all. It's always a great time I have here doing this. You know, you guys make the day go quick. I mean, 3 hours went by, no problem at all, man. So thank you guys. Salute to y'all. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday for the Still Knicks Fans Weekly Show. We're back with Ron, John, and Jose on the ones and twos. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll catch you on the next one. Let's get out of here.